Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Sovereign Citizen Sunday. How's everyone doing? We have a whole SovCit trial to look at today, so I'm very excited for that. Depending on how long that takes, I do have some other videos pulled up, but it is a relatively long video, so we might only get through that today. It really depends on how long it takes us to go through with it. Credit to Team Skeptic for uploading this video. Thank you so much. I will have to adjust the framing at some points, and he did have some commentary in here that we'll skip over, but credit to Team Skeptic for finding and uploading this entire trial, because it's pretty great. No, Marcel hasn't been arrested. As we've discovered, evil people thrive in this world, and good people suffer. So that's good. Just a Peach with a $1 tip says, I wish everyone a warm and cozy day with power and good food. I wish everyone the same. I wish everyone the same. Yeah, the P.O. box is still open. I might close it, to be honest, because I don't get that much stuff and it costs too much money. So if you want to, now's the time, because I'm probably going to get rid of it at some point. Let me see what else. We're very close to our banned Pissmas goal, so if you too would like to get rid of Pissmas forever, you can always tip. Other than that, we're getting close to the end of the month, so subs would always be helpful, and bits, you know the drill. Couldn't do it without all those things. The show is brought to you by viewers like you, just like PBS. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this trial, shall we? Let's take a look.
For the prosecution.
The truth is that when the first stop was,
No, my taste in pastries hasn't changed.
the driver's license was valid. The first stop was the driver's license was valid still. It was just the
This, I believe, is a pre-trial hearing, and then they go into the trial right after it.
automobile that was not compliant.
Okay, you have about 30 more seconds if you want to add anything else.
Oh, Green Guy with a $3 tip says, Hannah, do you think fish get tired of eating fish? There are big fish that just eat littler fish. They're fish, and they eat fish. That seems like too much fish. That's all they know. To them, everything is fish or water.
It wasn't that my license was revoked or suspended at that time during the first stop. It was
The P.O. Box thing worked. It showed up in chat. I'll do it again, but it did show up. Streamlabs posts it, see?
valid. I did not have it on me. I didn't produce it, but I did not lie to those police officers about anything. And we all did our job.
Okay. And that's why we're here today, is to determine whether you're guilty or not guilty. That'll be a fact issue for the jury. Any other issues for the prosecution?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. And so I have given, it's 8:20. We started these
Oh, it's not
arguments
showing up on mobile? That's weird.
at 8:08, but then I gave Mr. Velasquez 3 minutes. Additional time. There was some issues regarding the court's advisement regarding contempt. So, Mr. Velasquez, I'll give you about 10 minutes if you'd like to make a record on any pretrial issues. Go ahead. And that would be at 8:31. We will finish your argument. Thank you.
Feistiest Bard,
well,
thanks for 120 stream streak.
I'm not arguing. I just came here to make the special appearance, and
They believe that special appearance means the court doesn't have authority over them.
I'd come in.
They're wrong.
Did anyone tell you I came and tried to get a little more time to prepare? Did anyone tell you that it took me a lot more than a usual amount of time to get the discovery? And then I had the same issue with wanting to file over with the clerk. I couldn't do anything without violating my faith.
That kind of sounds.
His faith is to not engage with the law, apparently.
When I couldn't do anything and commit blasphemy at the same time. I mean,
It's blasphemy to do court paperwork? Wow, this guy's life must be really difficult. Which chapter of the Bible is that in again?
I don't see. I still don't understand what code we're using. What code are we using to make me go against my faith? What law are you, or what code are we using to create an altered version of my name, and other than the way it's supposed to be properly written? I've come here every time, and if I had more time to prepare, I would have better questions for you right now. But I didn't come here to make accusations. I didn't come here to make arguments. I came here just to clear my name, and that's all I ever came here for. And I've said the same thing to all the judges, and maybe I said it. I should have come in a different way, or said it in a different way, or talked to someone privately. And I did engage with a bunch of people before anything ever proceeded the first time, and tried to work something out before I became an embarrassment or a belligerent, or I still don't comprehend how I wound up
Ignore it. He didn't. He almost said understand, but he stopped himself.
being pro se in Latin when we're reading and writing in English. And if you don't understand Latin and you don't, can I ask why
Oh, casual lawyer. Thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. I really appreciate
we
it.
use Latin and English on one document? You know, that's my question. I don't have anything against the judicial system or lawyers or
I just think they're all illegitimate. I don't have any issue. I just want you to leave me alone when I break the law and not for you to do your job, obviously. Why is that so hard?
the police. I haven't hurt anyone. There's no one coming forward to say that I'd hurt them and I did anything, even if it was someone saying he's uninsured or whatever. If they were affected by an uninsured driver, that person is still not coming forward. And I really don't understand how they can be a defendant and the people at the same time. How did they do that?
What? You're the defendant.
I'm
They're the people.
confused. But all I can do is ask questions. I'm not here to poke at people. I'm not here to say, you need to tell me your personal business. You need to tell me why you were doing this and why you were doing that. I was going to the store to get a part for my mother's dryer. That's the reason I had to get over all the way in that lane, is because the appliance store is on that side of the street. I did not know he was behind me until I was in the parking lot out of my car. And at that point, I'm looking back and I'm like, okay, what's going on? I'm trying to get in there before the store closes. That's all I was trying to do. And that store was, if I went to a different store that was open, I would have got in. That store closed right at 4:30 or 4. That's when I was there trying to get that part to fix the dryer, to wash the clothes.
Sir, does any of this rambling have anything to do with any motions you want to file, or do you just want to sit here and opine to waste the court's time for the next half an hour?
I wasn't out working
They do the trial right after this.
for Domino's
Doesn't help him at all.
Pizza or delivering cement or anything engaged with being employed to operate. And even at that point, I had returned my license, like I told you many times. So I was not a volunteered driver. I unvolunteered and said,
You can't turn your license in and then continue to drive. That's not how any of this works. That darling dandy with a $5 super chat says, before the cold takes me, I just need you to know that my frozen heart will forever be yours, parasocially, of course. Keep up the good work. Thank you, that makes me feel good. A little stressed out today, so I really appreciate the kind words. Hydrate. Will do.
way before it was suspended, I returned the license. And I'm not trying to say anything other than I have never lied to you. I've never made up a story. I was offered a deal and I would have to lie. And I don't want to go against my faith. So whatever we have to do, I mean, if you already know that I'm going to lose and I'm going to be taught a lesson and I'm going to spend this long in jail, you know, then it's never going to be a fair trial. It would be a serious waste of time, you know.
It'll never be a fair trial because I can't win.
And an embarrassment.
At this point,
Oh, sorry.
every time
Just at this point,
resources.
you know,
What did he do? He was doing the typical sovereign citizen thing. He was driving without a license. He was driving without insurance, probably not registered.
at this point, I don't have trust or faith in moving forward because just based on what my interpretation of the you know, I don't think it's a wrong interpretation of the federal definitions of what driving is, motor vehicle is.
Luckily, it's not up to you. That's for the court to decide. They're the finder of law.
You know, a person is. I just don't want to. I am not those. I am none of those.
I've already seen this video, by the way, and I want to point out, if I didn't know sovereign citizen beliefs as well as I do, everything he says would come off as incoherent rambling, especially when he finally later in the video gets a chance to argue his case in front of the jury. I feel so bad for the jury because they must just be so confused. It's just a diatribe of, like, word salad that makes no sense. He does not explain any of this belief system well at all. Of course, the belief system is wrong, so it doesn't really matter, but, like, he could have come off a little more professional, I guess. Garatz, thanks for 42 months, says, time to travel to the Sovsit zone.
And I don't see how I could be forced to identify as that and forced to sign something that puts me back in commerce. I was staying out of commerce and not interfering.
Yeah, Harold Evelman, some of them really intertwine this stuff with their religious belief. It's almost always Christianity. In fact, I think I've only ever seen them associate sovereign citizenship with Christianity, or the Moorish citizens do so usually with Islam. But typically for, like, white sovereign citizens, they kind of tie it in with a Christian thing.
With commerce and trying to rebuild my life and make everyone whole in my life. And
oh, I got a tip. Pantifa with a $14.57 tip says, in support of you prioritizing your own well-being. Thank you. I'm so excited for my days off at the beginning of February. That's gonna be so nice.
fix everything that the last time I was in court affected. And so I'm not trying to avoid justice. I'm not trying to avoid doing what's right at all.
I don't even understand what his point is right now. Again, is this a specific motion? What is he even attempting to do here? Hey, Trey.
And I wouldn't. I don't think it's revenge does not satisfy me. And I've told you from the very beginning that I did not come here to ruin anybody's life or anybody's day.
That's okay. You don't have the possibility to do that from where you're sitting, so I don't think we have to worry.
Just wanted to clear my name because it's a good name.
Phoenix says, we're lucky to have you explain things. I would have been completely lost on my first viewing of Sovsits. They should have just have you come in and explain everything they say to the jury. I wish.
And
I wish I had a job where I could, like, use the things I've learned, but I decided to learn all things that are useless. So that's not great.
Really all I have.
Guess I'll just have to entertain you guys.
That's all anyone has. And my reputation is being affected by this. And my mother's health is affected by this, but I'm not lying to her. I'm not like going home and saying these guys, I'm saying the principle of the thing, she's doing her job and she believes. I've told everybody this. You may never have heard.
I can't believe she's just letting him opine this long.
I've told everybody. I know you're doing your job. I know you do good things. I've seen all these people who can't govern themselves, and it's dangerous. And they need someone. They need to fear the sword that you wield.
He's so full of himself. He thinks he is entirely separate from the vast majority of people. What he is saying here is he believes, yeah, most people need laws to keep them in line because they're evil, messed up people. But obviously, I'm above all that, so the laws shouldn't apply to me because I'm self-governing. You can't opt out of society when you live in it. If you want to opt out of society, you have to go live alone in the middle of nowhere and not interact with anyone. There was always a social contract when you were living amongst other human beings because everyone has different wants and needs and priorities, and we have to navigate those things between each other. There is no version of this where you get to just throw your hands up and say, I get to do whatever I want, and I don't have to have any consideration for other people or the law. That's not how this works. Gitara with 50 bits says, woo, I'm home in time for Hannah stream. Just got back from an anime convention up in Ypsilanti in this awful snowstorm. Gotta love that Michigan weather. Oh, it's been so bad. This winter in Michigan has been so cold. I do so bad in winter too, like emotionally, and like I get so cold. It's really bad. I hate the winter. I live in a really bad state for hating the winter.
For good reason. And I understand all of that. And I wasn't coming to the state and saying that they owed me anything either. I was just saying, I just want to fix my name. And they didn't respond, so I had to take it upon myself, and not to take the law into my own hands, but to take my life in my own hands and say, how did I get in this situation? How did I get in that situation? It's my fault. If anything's wrong with my life in the situations, it's my fault. God is good. God didn't let me down. I'm not depressed. My life is still full of joy, regardless of what goes on. And I'm neutral. I'm not on anyone's side because I have to care about everyone's.
Kind of sounds like you're on your side. I don't think how successfully you can try and put yourself as a neutral arbiter when you're the defendant. You're absolutely not neutral. Phoenix Leftist, thanks for 120 stream streak, says 120 stream streak, time spent with a wonderful community. I love this community. I really do. I don't know what I'd do without you guys. I don't know if I expressed that enough. I really appreciate the time we get to spend together, even though it's just like parasocial. I appreciate it.
Final destination, more than who's right or who's wrong. I can see why they're right. I can see why you're right, and I can see why I'm right. And I can't understand why the other three men and women in this courtroom can't seem to agree, all seem to agree together before we bring in the public, before my good name gets any more tarnished.
Like I said,
obtain any proof of a token of identity, or not identity, but just a proof that would prove my faith is harmless to law enforcement in case they encountered.
You're not being charged for your faith. Your faith has nothing to do with this. You were driving a car without a license. That's not your faith. That's no one's faith. That doesn't make any sense.
Me while I was out doing my ministry.
If your religion said you can't have a driver's license, do you know what that means? It means your religion says you can't drive, because that's the law.
I seriously have attempted to, because I understand that it is your occupation to take care of this country and the people that live here. And
You have 30 more seconds.
Okay, she's finally making him stop. Gothgeek Gaming says, I hope you get this, and you may ask yourself, well, how did I get here? Letting the days go by, let the water hold me down, letting the days go. I like that song.
I respect that. Man to man, or however you would take it most respectfully. But I just believe that we are the same. We are the same.
Yes, we're all people, and the court ideally is holding you in the same position as every other human being with your rights. You have rights, but you also have responsibilities. And when you break those responsibilities, e.g., refusing to follow the law when you are driving, you're going to get in trouble.
These accusations and I don't have the intent. But I apologize for wasting your time, and I apologize that I took it this far. And in the time that I've been in your courtroom, I've seen enough to know that you know, you do need to stand up like you do, and you do need to do it like you do. But in this one case, where a man has done nothing but his due diligence to try to correct it, in this one case, I'm innocent.
So you have a right to trial. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
I just,
All of that for her to be like, yep, that's what the trial's for.
I'm going to give you
So to get this straight, it seems like that entire conversation was the sovereign citizen trying to talk the judge out of the trial, which is not reasonably within her power. She can't just be like, all right, fuck it, fuck these charges for no reason. I don't even have a reason. I just liked what you said. All right, you go home. That's not a thing. This whole time, all of that speech was pointless. You've wasted all of our times, and everyone who sat through that is dumber.
you another minute just to make any record because you mentioned that a continuance. So I want to ask you what those grounds for the continuance is. And
Green Guy says, I made bread pudding with my raspberry preserves, vanilla, and cinnamon in a 9x13 pan, and my wife has already eaten half of it. Food is good, better than eating more human. I bet. I haven't been eating well. I told you guys the other day, I've lost like 10 pounds in a week and a half. It's really not good. I've not been eating. I've been eating more now, and I started taking a multivitamin, but like nothing tastes good. It's hard to eat. Very anxious.
and then I'll ask for the
I'm doing okay at this moment, though.
prosecution's response.
I don't need it. I was just trying to be more prepared, but really, I didn't come here to ever cause controversy. I just handled it the way that I handled it, in honestly and truthfully, without, you know, because I am born again. I know firsthand when I was born. I know my date of nativity. I know who my father is. I know that I.
Sir, most people in the United States are Christian. You are far from being unique in the fact that you are Christian. You have an absolute right to your faith, and that's great. I'm happy for you. It has nothing to do with this case. It's irrelevant.
Have to, you know, in order to encourage others to have a conscience, or show them that they can have a conscience that guides their decisions, I have to be a good example for that. And it's not against the government. It's not against the police. It's just against the principle of, in my situation, I just want to be who God made me to be, and I don't understand. I was just pulled over because I looked suspicious. If I didn't look suspicious, if there was a way that the state could make me not look suspicious.
It's up to you to make yourself not look suspicious by registering your car. It's not the state's job to be okay with you breaking the law.
Okay.
I don't think we'd have a problem.
Okay. And then I just want to clarify because
Blew past that. Okay.
your some of your statements sounded like you wanted to plead guilty today to the charges, but then other statements were saying you're not guilty. So I just want to be clear that you're ready to proceed to trial today, or are you asking to plead guilty to the charges? Now, I'm not asking you to violate any of your morals, but I just need to make sure that that's clear before we're about to go get 18 people to come up here and hear this trial. So I just want to make sure that that's clear, that you're ready to proceed, and that those are just employees with the court.
Okay, can I don't know. I would have to lie.
Well, don't do that.
Is proceeding on 3 charges, and that is driving without a valid driver's license, expired plates, and operating an uninsured vehicle. And is that correct? You proceeding on all 3? Okay. I'll give 15 minutes for jury selection
Yeah, I like this judge too. I don't think I've seen her before.
for each side.
In fact, maybe she lets him go on a little too long, but like, if she has the time, that's on her, I guess. I don't know how full her docket is today.
So we went through an extensive record previously about the process for trial, so I'm not going to go over that again. But I am going to allow for each side to have 15 minutes to speak to the jury. I'll give each side a 2-minute warning once they are in the, for each of the things that you'll be speaking to on those timed. So 2-minute warning for the voir dire or the jury selection. I'll give 10 minutes for opening, and I'll give a 1-minute warning for that. And then I will give a,
Yeah, they're doing a jury trial.
we're starting closings before
He has a right to it. Hydrate. Will do.
4 o'clock. I think it's a pretty simple case. I'm going to give 10 minutes for closing argument for each side. And again, I'll give a 1-minute warning for that. So for jury selection, you'll exercise your 3 peremptories. So you can excuse a jury, and I'll explain this as we go forward, but you'll get do you all have seating charts?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll get you a seating chart, and you'll exercise your peremptories with the people that are called the presumptive panel. So if they're the 1 through 6, if everyone's happy with 1 through 6, those are the people that are going to be on our jury. But for each peremptory, if someone exercise a peremptory, for example, if they kick number 6, then number 7 will be on our presumptive panel. So you can either accept as situated or use your peremptory. We go back and forth until either party has exhausted their peremptories or has accepted as situated. I can answer questions about that procedure once you see it. And so I think that is the court's. I do not allow for long speaking objections. So you can say objection hearsay, objection expert testimony. If it requires a bench conference, then you can ask for a bench conference. Although if we need to move the trial along, I may decline to have a bench conference. What I will tell you is that at every break, I give you an opportunity to make that record, as so that additional record will be deemed contemporaneous from the point that you have made that objection. All right, are there any questions for the prosecution? I'll give you 2 minutes for questions.
None from the people, Your Honor.
Any questions for Andrew? For the defense? I'll give you 2 minutes.
When I object, if I object, is it interrupting? No?
So if there is something that you believe is coming out at trial that you need to object to, you can stand up and say objection. You can then, I guess if someone's testifying to something and in the middle of a sentence, you can say objection, and then I'll give you a chance. But if I'm ruling on something, we don't interrupt each other. Or if the attorneys are speaking, we don't interrupt each other. But you are allowed to stand up and say objection.
You can stand up in real life. That's okay. Being on the internet doesn't mean you're not in real life, too.
Any other questions? You have about 1 more minute.
I didn't get any evidence submitted, so I can't submit anything, right?
This is trial, and that's where you would submit your evidence is at trial. So you would have to lay the foundation, what we call foundation under the rules of evidence, as to the evidence that you would like presented. So you would show a copy of whatever you'd like to provide to the jury, and then the prosecution would have a chance to look at it. And then if you would have to have a witness with personal knowledge to be able to admit that document, unless there's exceptions, like a certified document, there's rules that would allow for that. So today is the date that you would present any evidence. So what will happen is once the prosecution has presented their evidence, we talked about the process for trial previously.
Green Guy says, Hannah, idea after Pissmas goal is reached. Maybe the next goal could be a UFO or alien-focused tinfoil. Brainstorm and have a vote. I'm going to have to think about it. I am very out of ideas for tip goals, if I'm going to be honest. I still owe you guys more costumes, but I'm broke, so I can't do it till I get paid again. I don't know what the next tip goal is going to be.
Obviously, after they rest, that would be the time that you would call any witnesses or you would testify. I would swear you in at that time, and I have an advisement for you at that time.
So if I had some printed evidence that I wasn't able to submit for the record, I go about.
So
I could
again,
talk about it.
if you want to talk about your evidence,
Yeah, I am going to take 3 days off. We already did that tip goal.
and what you'd like to, it depends on the strategy that you'd have. If you want to wait to the moment that you can try and admit it, ultimately, someone has to lay what's called a foundation or the proper foundation for that it's authenticated and that there's a rule of evidence that would allow for it. So you can attempt to admit it, and then it would be there for the record if it's not admitted, but that's kind of the process.
Okay, so should I just try it now?
You have to, we're not in trial.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's during trial. You can show the prosecution and then we can take up at the break after we choose a jury if there's any objections to that.
I don't think people would like me gaming, Lady Anne.
But at this point, we're not in trial. So trying to submit anything, unless it's, you have to have the trial going before
What
we
if I
submit it.
quote something and I know the source? I can quote the source and
It
that's-
depends on under the
or
rules
is
of
that,
evidence.
or is that hearsay?
It
If-
depends on if there's an exception to the rule of hearsay or if that's hearsay, that it's not hearsay. So we'll just have to wait in trial and then I'll make those rulings.
Okay.
Do. Sorry, my hand wasn't on the skip ahead button. I like his shirt.
And then introduce yourselves to the jury, please.
Morning, all. My name is Andrew Eads,
I'm Coleman Edgery.
and it's our honor to represent the people of the state of Colorado.
All right, real quick, let me adjust the screen because at this point it kind of sticks with that center thing for a little bit. So let me adjust so that we can see them more clearly. There we go. I will have to adjust this a little bit again later. But should be pretty good. Okay.
Colorado.
Thank you.
Good day. I am Andrew. My middle name is Lawrence.
Lord Commander with a $5 super chat just says, found your channel from a little GameStop video. I love channels that call out foolishness and grift. Sob sits and MLMs are gold. They really are. Speaking of meme stock stuff, oh god, it's meme stock related. I don't know how much you guys are interested, but you guys know Houston Wade, the meme stock guy that got arrested for very illegal things involving a minor. His full police interrogation came out. Would you guys be interested in a meme stock video? Or we cover, meme stock stuff generally and catch up. But the bulk of the video would be watching his interrogation. Is that something that you guys would like? I watched part of it, and he acts very embarrassing for being investigated for child abuse stuff. Okay, everyone's saying yes. All right, I guess we'll do that sometime in the next week.
The surname of my father that I was issued at my time of birth without my consent is blasphemy to my religion.
Well, hello, Andrew.
It's not, again, you can't just claim that laws are against your religion and then not follow them.
Of everyone, I'll need to swear everyone in. And so please raise your right hand. And do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm under penalty of law to answer truthfully the question?
I gotta adjust this again. It's gonna go back to the way it was. Real quick, I'm just gonna put it back to the wide and then I'll put it back to the zoomed in when it goes back to the other place.
Questions asked by the court or counsel concerning your service as a juror in this case. If you agree, please say I do. Okay, thank you. All right, next we're going to begin the question.
Object. I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead. You object?
Already.
Shouldn't they say, I do hereby solemnly swear, so that I know that when they say do hereby, that means that they are going to obey that oath from now until they're done judging me. And
I'm
that
sure the specific wording of the oath is very important to the people following it.
it doesn't mean if I say I do solemnly swear, that doesn't mean like when you feel like it, because it hasn't taken effect. It's like occasionally I do.
That's not a
solemnly
requirement under the law. So
swear, but the word here.
I'll let you make I'll let you make an additional break at the record
The word
or at the additional record at the break, but that I'm going to overrule your objection. That's not a requirement under the law. Okay, thank you.
We can't just include it real quick for,
No, well, I explained previously, if you want to make any additional record, sometimes I need to rule during trial, but I'll allow you an additional during the breaks. You can always supplement your record, and that additional record will be deemed contemporaneous for the purposes of appeal.
Am I correct, though? About how the oath takes effect like that?
So I'm not going to argue back and forth. I've overruled your objection.
We might all have a different definition of driving. Would we all agree to that? Like your definition of driving may be different than
I think this is his big argument. Oh God, is he arguing to the jury now? It looks like it. Oh fuck. It's so embarrassing.
code of that the federal regulations of the government uses may be different than your definition of it. No, nobody agrees with me. Federal definition of driver means any person. Was that a man or a woman? Any person who operates any commercial vehicle. We all said that we drove here, but do you have your logbook with you? And who did you work for when you drove here? It is commercial. And I know that you think this guy.
So this is a thing that sovereign citizens get incorrect a lot. Under the definition of person, legally, it includes corporations, but it does not mean everyone is a corporation. It means people and corporations, organizations, whatever, are all subject to the law, in theory. Corporations get away with a lot, but you know what I mean. They instead decide that when they use the term person, it doesn't apply to flesh and blood people because they think it only means corporations because they misread it, misunderstand it, willingly or not.
Is out there being unsafe or anything like that. No, I'm just a Christian. I'm trying to correct.
Stop playing the Christian card. Most people in the United States are Christian. You are not unique in that regard. Christians commit crimes all the time.
My identity and how people know me. I want them to know me as an honest, truth-telling Christian. And if
jails are full of Christians, prisons, I mean.
A driver is a person, I can't identify as that because I'm a man. I'm not a corporation. A corporation, that would be a confusion of what I need to define things by. Does anybody not believe that we don't need to know the definition of something before we know what we're talking about? The definition of operator?
Green guy says make a cooking video, vegan lasagna. English is weird. No, I can't cook for shit.
Driver.
I wouldn't even know how to film that.
Is this so? Did we get? Does anybody think that we are now standing on moral ground? To where I just defined this, or they just defined that it was commercial. That means you're getting paid. You are getting paid as a driver. What's the other option? If you are driving cattle, you are getting paid to ride that horse. But if you're just riding a horse, you're still in control of that horse, but you're not getting paid. If you are if you are going to the store in your automobile.
Do you see what I mean about this being incredibly confusing if you're a member of the jury and you've never heard any of this sovereign citizen stuff? He hasn't laid groundwork for like any of this. His argument isn't structured in any way that sort of follows one point to the next. It's just word salad. It's just rambling. Hey, Will Kale.
Are you getting paid? So are you driving federally or by the state's standards of? I agree that everybody who drives a dump truck and all that stuff and is doing a business and is driving on the streets, that's what they need to do. They federally need to have some insurance in case they get in an accident because they're out there making money. They're involved.
Andrew, you need to make sure you're speaking into the mic.
The federal definitions, I did not make them up.
Green guy says, make an aerobics video, make a woodworking video. I don't have the body for aerobics and I don't have the equipment for woodworking.
I didn't write the Bible, but this is their Bible. And I'm saying if
it basically has to be stuff I can do sitting in this chair.
Decision about whether or not I was driving or whether or not I needed insurance, I assure you, I have never driven for anybody for at least 10 years. And when I did, I did pass the test. and everybody should pass that test to prove that they can horse, so to speak. Have you ever cycle? Have you ever drove a motorcycle? Have you ever ridden a bicycle? Did you ever drive a bicycle? Have you ever ridden a skateboard? If you have a driver's license and it was issued to you by the state, you volunteered to get that. Nobody forced you to get that, but you're a driver and you're not getting paid for it. Who are you driving for? Who's your employer? Who gave you the right to do it? Who made it so that you had to pay for insurance to so that you would have to? Oh, I can't, if I don't go to work today, I won't be able to pay my insurance. And if I can't pay my insurance, then I can't operate the car. And if I can't operate the car, then I'm going to lose my job.
Yeah, life is full of things like that. You have responsibilities, man. It sucks. It's not good. I think we should actively work towards better systems that benefit people, but it doesn't change your legal requirements right now for driving a car. I don't say this to be mean. I don't say this because I want this guy to get in trouble. It's a practical reality.
Insurance.
Procagon with 50 bits says, have you ever considered going through the Bible one chapter at a time? Maybe like some kind of atheist Bible study? I don't know. It's a crazy idea, but it might work. You know? No.
It's because your birth certificate was set up so
That's been done. Poorly.
that if you had an accident, that was an accident.
Andrew, that's your time.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Yup. He's an individual. I had triers.
This is my time, right?
Yes.
So my opening statement is, to illustrate the corpus delicti, the body of the crime, the body material substance of the crime that I committed. If I was a driver, if I wasn't a driver, did I commit a crime?
Okay, but you were a
I
driver.
wasn't getting paid.
You were driving. You don't need to be getting paid.
There would be like the corpse of a murdered man is corpus delicti.
That's an example of corpus delicti, but it's not the only kind of corpus delicti. Terradona says, if I were a potential juror, I'd be asleep by now. That's always my fear, if I were ever picked for a jury, that I'd genuinely get so bored I'd fall asleep. I have really bad ADHD, so, like, I get really sleepy if I'm really bored, and my mind would wander. It would not be good. It would not be good.
There would be a victim. I would surrender my rights to be a
Unless it was a SovSit trial, then I'd be very interested and attentive.
Christian. If there was an injured party, or if I had damaged someone and made
There's no way
made
they'd
some-
ever let me on the jury of a sovereign citizen trial, right? I mean, I guess they won't necessarily ask questions in voir dire if you know about sovereign citizens. It'd be funny if they did, though.
on whole, to make them whole again. In this case, the mens rea is a guilty mind, a guilty wrongful purpose, a criminal intent.
I don't know if this particular crime has mens rea as an element of the crime. It's a regulatory thing. You didn't get a driver's license, you were driving without it. That's enough.
Really, I was on 44th and I turned on a Kipling and I merged over 2 lanes to get into Jensen Appliance to get a part for my mother's dryer. But was I driving? Did they say he was, will they say I was driving badly? They'll say I was driving. They'll keep saying it, and they'll say the law of the state of Colorado, ignorance of the law is no excuse.
He's making an argument against yourself.
The law is pretty easy. Don't hurt anybody.
Maybe I could do movie reviews, discussions, and history video streams. I don't know enough about history to make videos about it. I'm very uneducated.
Stay on your own property.
I dropped out of college because of mental health issues.
And don't steal anything. That's the law. And if you're ignorant of that, there's no excuse. There is no excuse. But if you're ignorant of facts, like the definition of driver, that's a fact. That's not an opinion. It's not my opinion. Nor did I invent it. It's been there for a long, long time. They have something else. We have all these Latin
I did get farther than Tim Pool. That's true.
terms
I don't have Russian money propping me up, though, so.
so that we can decide who's, because, you know, Latin is a prestigious language. It's not written as Latin. It's written like it's English, or it, there's three kinds of Latin in the law dictionary. You've got congruent Latin and lawyer's Latin, and then a Latin that's so confusing that only the oldest lawyer can read it. Only the oldest lawyer can tell you what it is, and that's the definition of it in the dictionary for that I did not bring. I brought the Webster's dictionary because I
He's talking about the fact that the Latin is not written like Latin. It's written with, like, Arabic numerals that we use.
figured God wouldn't make it so difficult for someone to find their salvation. You know,
Or Arabic. What's the name of the script we use? The, like, letters that we use. I was thinking of numbers, I guess, but it's whatever the English, like, you know, the set of letters that we use.
you'd need the words, but if you didn't know the meaning of the words, you'd have to look them up. Otherwise, you might make up your own meanings
Is it called Latin script? See, I don't know history. This is why you want me to do history video?
for those words in your own.
I can make fun of people doing delusional things. That's about it. That's my skill set. Gothgeek Gaming says, all the things you're saying is why my anxiety-riddled imposter syndrome brain won't let me be creative. Me too.
Ideologies and your own superstitions. And you're like, if you leave that house
Latin alphabet, Arabic numerals.
and get in that car and you don't have your driver's license, you're a bad person, or you're a bad man or a bad woman, or you're doing something that's wrong. The federal definition of it.
Fenry91 with 100 bits and a link. What is this?
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
It's as much of that as I can play. He's doing his best.
Says that if you are engaged in commerce, you have to
Bong
have
the Ripper, thanks for a $10 tip.
a driver's license. Does it say in the federal code of regulations that if you're just going to the store, you have to have a driver's license?
It says that in the state laws, yes, you need a driver's license to operate a motor vehicle on public roadways, whether you're going to the store or anywhere else.
You know, people aren't aware that there's lots of terms inside the code of federal regulations, like private motor carrier for hire, private motor carrier with more than 12 passengers and stuff like that.
Well, unfortunately for you, this
Don't understand that.
apply to your current situation.
And also people don't understand that, you know, how to grammatically read and write English. I have, you know, copies that from the Chicago Styles Manual, 17th edition, which tells you that what an acronym is, how to write a proper name properly, how to write a corporation, how to write American Sign Language, because American Sign Language is written in all capital letters because they don't have any lowercase letters. And it's like Latin, that they join the words together with like a dash or a period, but there is no direct translation between American Sign Language and English.
I mean, isn't there? Because you can learn sign language. And to learn it, you have to associate the symbols with the concepts, which are also words in English, so you can translate it. What are you talking about? How else do you expect, like, someone like me to learn sign language?
Those two words, if you see American Sign Language and English on the same piece of paper, like a contract,
German Cow JJ with a $20 tip says, R.I.P. Pissmas. We did it. Pissmas is dead. We never have to look at people drinking their own pee again. I think I beat that bit to death anyway, so that's probably for the best.
those words don't mix together. There is no nexus of the mind for someone who doesn't speak the other language to sign with full consent and full knowledge that they've fully been disclosed everything if part of it they don't understand, but they're just trusting the other person, just trusting them, some stranger. Well, I say it is. I can read it just fine. But this will tell you that if you wanted to write something in all capital letters, there's an acronym. And if you know what
I think he meant meetings of the mind when he said nexus of the mind. I don't know why he said nexus instead of meeting.
acronym is, it's like NAFTA or UNICEF. If you turn a word into, you turn a bunch of words of a title into one word, and then you write that in all capital letters. And the fact that it's written in all capital letters, that is for an English reader to determine how to decode what this communication is saying. There's, with respect to corporations, the Styles Manual. The Styles Manual tells you how to write everything. It is like the Bible or the Webster's Dictionary or a law dictionary. These are authorized sources that have authority. I didn't go and say, I heard this and I heard that. I do not like hearsay. I do not like rumors. When everyone pretty much admitted to not
Overthought says this might be a longer legal speech than the Fountainhead.
being religious. So I'm going to talk about
Maybe not quite as obnoxious, though.
the religion of Catholicism for a minute, because it relates to, a baby is born and it has two sponsors, a godmother and a godfather, and they baptize that baby into the religion. And it's like that. But did that baby say, oh yeah, I want to be a Catholic? Because in my faith, you would have to believe first and then be baptized.
We're getting into Protestant v. Catholicism now. We're so off the rails.
Because it is not the action that saves you, it's the faith. It's the faith that motivates you. It's the belief in, my uncle, if I talk to him about what I think, he says it's superstition. And that really got me going. It was like, well, how much of what you believe is a superstition when it comes to not disobeying the law, but obeying the law, And I know that I obey the law.
Just a Peach with $1 tip says, American Sign Language does not have written grammar because it's a spoken language. Most ASL words are symbols, not spelled, and have an English word. There are a lot of style guides.
I know that I obeyed the code of the federal regulations. I know that I'm not lying to you. You may not believe it, but that doesn't mean it's not true. There's no reason for me to come here repeatedly. I've come here and there was a point where I was going to have to go for
Sweetly Love with a link and Almost on a Hype Train.
What in God's holy name are you blathering about?
Good reference. I love The Big Lebowski.
a competency evaluation, and I didn't want to do it.
He's doing his argument right now, Flunky Footy, so he's allowed to do this. He's just doing argumentation right now.
I thought
He doesn't actually have any witnesses. Like, if there was a witness, then he would, of course, have to question the witness. But right now, he's just arguing. So, yeah, I think he's allowed to opine. Oh, we're on a hype train. Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub. If you want to help out the hype train, you can use bits or subs. I'd really appreciate it. We're getting close to the end of the month. And we're close to our sub goal. So if you could, I'd appreciate it. No pressure, though.
Competency evaluation. You're asking me to testify against myself. I don't want to do that.
You have 1 minute.
I want to submit myself to a medical examination or a scientific experiment. Where's the law? Because I'm not claiming to be an American. I'm saying that if Americans can enjoy the Fifth Amendment and not have to testify against themselves, can a Christian in America not have to testify against themselves, not have to condemn themselves?
Absolutely. The Fifth
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, thank you. And just make sure you're speaking directly
Normal Gamer Gal, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you so much.
into that microphone. And that chair is not on wheels, so you have to kind of scoot it. The easiest thing to do is just move the microphone back and forth. Thank you. All right, and go ahead, your witness.
Thank you, Your Honor.
88% to level 2 on the hype train.
Hi, Officer Reitz. Would you please state your full name and spell your last for the jury?
Sure. Donovan Reitz, Reetz.
I object. That's hearsay, isn't it?
What?
It is a thumb drive containing a portion of my body-worn camera from that interaction.
How do you know that?
I previously reviewed it earlier today.
Is it a fair and accurate representation of that body-worn camera footage?
Correct.
Your Honor, permission to admit and publish People's Exhibit 3.
Any objection to the admission of Exhibit 3?
Sure. I object. It makes me look combative,
Objection! It's devastating to my case!
and the issue
Quasi-spec, thanks for 1,000
I
bits.
thought was whether the accusation is whether I'm driving without insurance, not how I'm acting. Did you have a problem with how I acted? Did you want to write?
So you'll have a chance, you'll have a chance to
38% to level 3 on the hype train.
ask questions. I'm just going to find, based on the court's previous ruling, but also that the proper authentication has been laid to authenticate a video. I'm relying on a case, People in Interest of MV 432 Pacific 3rd 628. It's called a Supreme Court case from 2018. So they've laid the proper.
Real quick, let me grab the chat again real quick. My chat box glitched out on my other monitor, and I can't see a lot of you guys' chats, so let me... Oh, is it just not loading my whole ass page? Oh, that's weird. That's probably not good. Huh. Let me still try and... No, I can't. I can't even... Okay. That's weird.
What we call authentication foundation. And then based on the record,
I'm
there
surprised you guys can still see me.
have been previously objections to hearsay, but based on the court's understanding of what has been admitted, it would be what's called a party opponent, statements made by Andrew. And so I will allow for the admission. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm glad we did this.
Are you? Why is that? Get it all cleared up?
Well, because
To be fair, I can still see your messages through my Streamlabs. It's just I usually like to have them on a second monitor.
if
But
I
it's okay.
need a driver's license plate to move around, then they should give me one because I wasn't born with it. And if
It's your responsibility to get one!
I have to get a job and volunteer and use that last name to get one, that makes me a slave.
Oh my god, participating in society does not make you a slave. Please stop undercutting the seriousness of chattel slavery.
You know, and if I'm their slave, then that's illegal.
Did you take this to mean that the defendant did not have proper registration and driver's plates?
Correct.
Why did you believe that?
Just based off of the statements, it indicated to me that he did not believe he had to register his vehicle unless it was provided to him by the state or some other entity.
At any point, did you ask the defendant if he had a driver's license?
I did, yes.
And how did he respond?
He stated he did not have a driver's license.
I'd like to turn your attention to Marcus People's Exhibit 4. This is the other video we showed you earlier this morning. Permission to approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Thank you.
Another segment of my body-worn camera from that day's interaction.
How do you know that?
I previously reviewed it.
And is it a fair and accurate representation of that body-worn camera interaction?
It is, yes.
Permission to admit and publish People's Exhibit 4, Your Honor.
Any objection for the defense? You're shaking your head no? Okay.
Okay. Do you have your license on you?
I don't have a license.
Okay, will you?
At any point, did the defendant produce a license?
No, sir.
And at any point, did you ask the defendant if he had valid and current proof of insurance?
I did, yes.
And how did he reply?
He stated he did not have any proof of insurance.
I'd like to turn your attention to Marcus People's Exhibit 5. This is the other video we showed you this morning. Permission to approach, Your Honor?
You may.
Another section of my body worn camera.
Oh, wow. Anya, thank you for $100 tip, says, thank you for your streams. They're always so enjoyable. Thank you. People have been tipping so generously lately. You have no idea how much I appreciate it. Thank you.
Do you know that?
I reviewed it this morning.
Is it a fair and accurate representation of that body worn camera?
It is, yes.
Permission to admit and publish People's Exhibit 5, Your Honor.
Minute
any
left on the
objection
hype
for
train?
defense?
No.
Okay, People's Exhibit 5 will be admitted and the court relies on the previous record as well.
Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub.
Go ahead.
Mr. Reeves, will you please play People's Exhibit 5?
Do you have insurance on your car, sir?
My birth certificate is my insurance.
Oh no, he thinks that he has the SESDK account. Sovereign citizens often believe they have a secret, what they call a SESDK trust. They think that when the government gets a record of a new birth, like through a birth certificate or whatever, they think for every individual person, they open a secret bank account that has billions of dollars in it, which if you added up all the people in the United States would be more money than exists in the entire world. But they think that you can access this account using your social security card or your birth certificate.
In the state of Colorado, is a birth certificate valid insurance?
No, sir, it is not.
How do you know that?
Pursuant to Colorado statute, anybody operating a motor vehicle on a roadway in Colorado must have valid insurance through an insurance company.
Thanks for the hype train,
You spoke
everyone.
with the defendant a fair amount on March 26, 2024, correct?
Yes.
Let me try one more time to get that chat back. Might try again in a little bit, but yeah, weird. It's just not connecting. I wonder if there's something wrong with the Twitch servers in my area. Maybe because of the weather.
What rationale or arguments did the defendant give as to why he did not need to comply with these laws?
He repeatedly stated that they were fraudulent. When I issued him this summons for this incident, he stated it was fraudulent as well. He denied his, I believe it was his last name as the legal name, and that he only identified as his Christian name of Andrew. Just various statements along the lines of those.
To your understanding, does having a driver's license, proof of insurance, or license plates have anything to do with people's First Amendment rights to religion?
No, sir, they do not.
And you've been an officer for how long?
I'm in my 8th year now, sir.
And roughly how many tickets have you given for any of those 3 offenses that we're here upon today?
Probably in the several hundreds, sir.
And were any of those tickets found fraudulent?
No, sir.
No further questions for this witness at this time, Your Honor.
Pretty straightforward.
I mean, it didn't need to go to trial, but he has a right to a trial. I get that this is a waste of time, but you can't take away people's rights to a trial, because if you start doing it for this guy, it's a slippery slope. Like, I understand that he's frustrating and that we all know that this is a foregone conclusion, but people have rights. And especially right now, when so many people's rights are being absolutely trodden all over, probably not the time to start saying people shouldn't have a right to trial. You know what I mean? Let's just keep this very in the field of he's funny and annoying, but he has an absolute right to trial, okay? Let's be clear about that.
This witness, I think we've gone over this before, but I just want to make sure that you're within the bounds of the rules of evidence. So it has to be a form of a question. And so if you would like to testify, it'd be a later point in the trial. You also have to have it relevant to the day in question. And so I'll just give you those. I think I've explained that before, but just make sure you're within the bounds. That sometimes when someone's not represented, the type of questions that they ask that could kind of end their cross-examination if they're not within the bounds of evidence, rules of evidence. So do you have any questions for this officer?
I do.
Okay.
Good day. It's good to see you again. No hard feelings. And I think
Shut up.
Oh, sir.
That's
by
terrible.
the time we got there, we were friends, or not friends, but, not enemies. And so what's your definition of a motor vehicle?
So it's a vehicle that's self-propelled, driving on any public roadways in the state of Colorado.
What's your definition of a driver?
Person in immediate control of the vehicle that's operating the vehicle.
How about an operator?
Roughly the same definition as a driver. They're synonymous.
Now, if what's the caliber of your weapon and how many bullets do you get?
Objection relevant.
Sustained.
Okay, well, if at the time when we had our interaction, if at that time I was a Uber driver with a passenger, would the charges be different?
Objection, relevance.
Would the charges be different?
Okay,
That's the relevance
so
of it.
that, what you're asking the officer to do is kind of speculate, and we have
Oh.
to focus on the day in question of what this case is relevant to. So the facts of this case. So I will sustain that objection.
Okay, that day in question, do you have the logbook for my employer that I was allegedly working for as a driver?
Objection, speculation,
No one is saying you were working for anyone.
relevance.
I'm going to
It's not a qualification for the definition of driver, no matter how much you want to force it to be.
I'll allow for that question. Go ahead.
Did you obtain any evidence that day that indicated to you that I was employed by somebody at the time that we had our interaction that was paying me money to not operate, but to be in control of that car?
No, sir, I did not.
Do you think I was surprised when
Do you think I was surprised? What relevance would that question even have? It's not. Yes, maybe, I guess. Fenry with a $10 tip says, this isn't like Ace Attorney at all.
I saw you?
Objection, relevance.
I guess I'll allow for his testimony regarding his observations.
In your memory of it, and you saw the video, and from what you remember, was I surprised when I saw you?
Yes, you did appear surprised.
And did you draw your weapon?
Objection, relevance.
Because I don't see the relevance of, I will allow for the question of whether there was a weapon drawn, just regarding the circumstances of the
Everybody says
decision.
I'm like walking away. So, and then I read that in your report, is that you saw that it looked to you like I was not trying to, that, I wasn't listening to you, but I wasn't aware of you. And at that, a moment, is it on your call, you get a warrant to arrest somebody who's allegedly driving. Are they dangerous? Or, I just don't understand. I don't,
You're gonna have to put that in one
let-
question,
oh.
okay?
I'm not trying to make you look bad. So,
How old is this video? This was uploaded 2 days ago. This is pretty fresh.
let's just go over it. There was no indication that I was working for somebody at the time. And there's, the weight of the vehicle is it considered, commercial by its weight?
No, it's
No,
not a
it's-
commercial vehicle.
Okay. I believe that you believe you're telling me the truth, and I'm done asking questions.
Yeah, I believe they find error bar.
Including a minor driver under the age of 21 years who drives under the law. It says driver means every person, including a minor driver under the age of 21 years who drives or is in actual physical control of a vehicle.
Oh, look, the actual state definition. Wow, that's pertinent to this case even. I can't believe it.
Any objection to the court's instructions with this addition for the prosecution?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection for the defense to any of the instructions that I've provided, including this new addition? I provided you a copy of the instructions previously, but this is a new addition.
Will they be able to see the definition of person and vehicle?
So there would be a motor vehicle definition. I don't know if there is under the law a definition of person under the Colorado law.
Person, by definition, makes it commercial.
No, it doesn't. Again, the person definition in the law includes individuals, corporations, organizations. They get rid of the individuals and the organizations part, and it's like they think just the corporation thing is there. Person is not synonymous with corporation. Corporations can legally be considered people, but people are not ipso facto corporations. It's very simple, and it's one of the more frustrating things from sovereign citizens because it's such willful ignorance.
I don't think that under Colorado law, unless is the prosecution familiar with a definition of person? Let me look at the model jury
You can look,
instructions.
yes.
It's in the Constitution, isn't it? Right, the Colorado Constitution?
Let me see. I'm looking at 42.1.102 for the definitions under the traffic code. There is not a definition under as far as person. It's hard to search the definition of person because there's in the model jury instructions, there is about 3,500 uses of the term person just in all of the statutes or the law. Let me see if I can look it up in the definitions. And then under the model jury instructions, I'm looking up the definitions that they've included.
I'm taking a look, I believe, on Colorado Revised Statutes 2-4-401. Might provide a little bit of information here. For general statutory interpretation, person includes individuals, corporations, government agencies, and other legal entities. So yes, what
See the commas between those clauses? It means they're separate things. Individuals was listed. You are an individual. You count as a person.
it does include corporations or government agencies or other entities such as that. It also does include individuals in that definition.
Define individuals.
So there's a
Define
definition of person.
individuals. We're just going to go down a definition hole. We just need to define every word and every definition ad infinitum.
Under the homicide statute, person when referring to the victim of homicide means human being who had been born and was alive at the time of the homicidal act. But I don't see that there is a specific definition of person.
Human being isn't a man or a woman. A human being, I have my Webster's dictionary.
Well, despite the taste,
Black's Law Dictionary request. What do you want me to look up?
I think that when there's not specific definitions for a
Look up person? I don't know. Okay. Well, give me a sec. Ugh. Big book.
let me just confirm, I want to make sure that I'm making this clear because I just looked up the person's definition under homicide, which I don't think is relevant here.
It's going to be
There's a person for,
the very beginning of the Constitution.
yeah, I don't see that there's a person definition under the traffic code. So there's definitions of other, like that means an individual corporation. That doesn't make sense for this traffic code. And person includes corporate officers. That doesn't make sense. So if the jury has any questions about the definition of a person, I would direct them to their common knowledge of the word.
The definition in here is person, a human being, also termed natural person. There you go. Don't think you can get much clearer than that. If you're hearing this, it's you!
But it's not defined under the traffic code, so I'm going to decline to give that. Do you have any other objections to these instructions?
I'm trying to
Nemesis.
track what you just said.
So under the law, there are specific definitions that sometimes relate to a specific charge. So in the model jury instructions, which are instructions that are provided to courts of what to do during trial to instruct the jury, there is a definition of a persons for controlled substance offenses. This isn't a controlled substance offense.
Hydrate.
There's a definition of person for a homicide offense. This isn't a homicide. And I think it would be confusing for the jury if we inserted one of these instructions that
Dinosaur,
definitions that
thanks
don't
for gifting 10 tier 1 subs.
relate to the actual charge. So I've done a search into the traffic offenses, and 42.1.102 has some traffic definitions, but none of them apply to the definition of person. So when that happens, then if the jury has questions about what the definition of a person is, then they would be instructed during their deliberations to rely on their common meaning or interpretation of that word. Do you have any other record on these instructions that you'd like to make?
These are legal codes.
Yes.
There's going to be a legal definition for it. And if it's not,
Not necessarily a specific special one. Like, for the most part, the words you're using are still just the words that have common definitions. Not every word is some legalese secret.
related
Most of them aren't. It's literally just the words mean what they mean.
to this, then why don't we use the person definition instead of leaving my fate up to something other than what the law or the codes, revised statutes say?
Let's be clear. You
We got,
I understand that, but adding corporation to it is going to be confusing to the jury. The other.
that's what
terms-
it is.
No, it's like he was here when the guy read the definition. How is he this ignorant? He's not even listening.
A
Not for
person-
this charge. I don't believe it has to
But-
be a person. So
Even the general definition of person is a mask. It's a persona. It's something that
No.
somebody
Not colloquially, it is not.
portrays. And so
I understand your objection. I'm going to overrule your objection. Do you have any other objections to these instructions?
yes, because if they can't clearly define what a person is, and it takes it away from being commercial, then I don't think it's accurate for the jury to do that. In all my experience with the definition of person, it is never. If it was a man or woman, it would be interpreted a man or woman. And if the state of Colorado wanted to write, if a man or a woman did this, they would write that. But they wanted to write it as person. So because it has a meaning, it has a definite meaning, and it has the meaning
And you fall under that definition. You are an individual.
of commercial.
We're getting close to the actual end of this, by the way.
The prosecution
If
wants
anyone's bored, I love this stuff, so I don't find it boring. I find it fascinating.
your position. I know you offered that in that definition, but what is your position?
Your Honor, ultimately, we would note that 24-4-401 does note the following definitions apply to every statute unless the context otherwise requires. Amongst those is a definition for person. In this case, it would be subsection 8, means any individual, corporation, government, or governmental subdivision or agency, business, trust, estate, limited liability company, partnership, association, or other legal entity. I think that's a very long-winded way of saying that it is just inclusive of individuals. I don't think it is necessarily needed. I think the common sense.
It is absolutely needed.
So,
This is the law.
Hold on. Are you asking the court to, if the prosecution's requesting it, I will include it. But I just need to make clear what the record is. So you're reading me it, but I need to get your position.
Yes, ultimately, if the people want to object.
Green guy says sucking at something is the first step to being really good at something. Here's the thing, though. Being really good at being a sovereign citizen still ends with you getting fines and jailed. So
To inclusion of that, just the definition
maybe just keep sucking at it. You'll get basically the same results.
section.
Okay.
What's, what's wrong with the federal definition of it?
This isn't a federal crime.
This is where I think we're opening up things to the request because it's not defined. But if the prosecution is requesting this instruction, I'll give person means an individual, corporate, business, trust, estate, trust, partnership, associate. But that doesn't make sense under the context of driving. That's the part where it's my job to make sure that the jury is instructed properly The prosecution said they don't object to the person means the individual
Green guy says I was talking about cooking. Oh, I
corporation,
guess.
business, trust, estate, trust,
Maybe I don't want to be good at cooking.
partnership, association, joint
Maybe I like being lazy and eating frozen food.
venture, government or governmental subdivision or agency, or any other legal or commercial entity based on that request. I'm not going to go into the federal law for a definition of person. So I'm going to decline that request. But the prosecution said they don't object to this person. I think it's confusing to the jury, but it's if both parties are asking for that definition, then I'll include it. Any other requests for these instructions?
Your Honor, I do, ultimately, I do think it actually does create a lot of confusion. I think ultimately people would object to the inclusion of that person definition there. Ultimately, it only really presents
Then buy your cake and eat it too, says Green guy.
one
I
piece
do like cake.
of relevance, which would be the individual, but there's a lot of
Have I ever told you guys my hot take that I like pudding better than ice cream? I wish we lived in an alternate reality where instead of ice cream shops, we had pudding shops and pudding cones. Pudding is so much better. I will die on this hill.
other agencies, divisions, corporations, associations that are reflected in there. And I think it just ends
There's
up creating needless confusion here.
So
no way.
a business entity cannot physically drive a vehicle. So
I've never had frozen pudding, so I can't speak to it.
I am going to decline to give a definition of person. This will be a purpose for appeal if you feel that this was a mistake. I do just find that
What pudding specifically? Any kind of pudding, though I like chocolate pudding.
what is added in this instruction is, and that's model jury instruction F26-8, and it's related to controlled substance offenses. It talks about a business trust and estate. That is not, it does not in the common sense definition of what a driver means, that a partnership or a government cannot drive a vehicle. So I'm going to find that if the prosecution has questions of what a person is, then they would be directed to their common understanding, but I'm going
Chocolate lava cake is good.
to decline to include the definition of person.
No.
All right,
it's-
Andrew, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to make any other argument regarding these instructions, and then we can go to numbering them. So go ahead, you have till 11:44.
I've actually never had tapioca pudding.
Well, I'm gonna.
Just a Peach says, I agree with you about cooking, and I know the basics about cooking. I also have a green guy to cook yummy bread pudding for me, so I don't have to. That must be nice.
Object
pudding
to
is dope.
changing to a code that suits your purpose, or suits their purpose. It's ambiguous and misleading.
You literally I'm now hoping not to.
Prior to the break, the prosecution rests. Keeping in mind the burden of proof is on the prosecution. The defense does not have to present any evidence. Do you wish to call any witnesses?
I have none.
You have none. Okay. So at this time, does the defense rest?
Resting.
Okay.
So I get
We, the jury,
All right. Now we're at the sentencing, or the reading of the verdict, rather. Let me switch this back to the wide shot.
I'll read the verdicts now. Jury verdict count 1.
Oh, I'm sure you're going to be very surprised by the outcome. no,
Charge of
you-
failure
It's exactly what you think it is.
to display proof of insurance. We, the jury, find the defendant, Andrew Velasquez, guilty of count number 1, failure to display proof of insurance. Jury verdict count 2, charge of driving without a valid license. We, the jury, find the defendant, Andrew Velasquez, guilty of count number 2, driving without a valid license. Jury verdict count 3, charge of driving with expired plates.
I wonder if he's going to appeal.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Andrew Velasquez, guilty of count number 3, driving with expired license plates. All 3 verdicts are signed by the foreperson. Does anyone wish to have the jury polled for the prosecution,
Thank you, Your
for
Honor.
the defense? Nope. Okay.
guilty.
Guys, for the way things started,
Okay.
and it wasn't very becoming of who I want to be seen as.
Okay. Thank you. Are you still driving then? You're not driving. Okay.
She shouldn't have used the word driving, because I'm so curious if he's saying no because he's like, I'm not driving, I'm traveling. Like, is he operating a vehicle still? We'll never know, because the judge asked it that way, and there's no way he would admit to, quote, driving because he has a different definition.
Here's my concern is, there's people just like you that are working a day-to-day job that can have a car that barely runs, are scraping together insurance, and they are going to be in a bad situation if you're driving and you hit them, because they might have just insurance that if they hit someone, and then someone might be able to not have their car to get to their job, get their kids to daycare, and they don't have anyone to pay that insurance, that money. And you seem like the type of person that takes into consideration the suffering of others in the world.
Does he?
And if you live by your faith, then you would understand that one of our jobs is to make sure that we don't create suffering in other people. So I think that you have sort of a legal objection at times to having insurance, but I hope that you understand that that could affect someone that's just like you, or a single mother, or all of these things. And so I hope that you take that into consideration when you're going forward today, because you don't have any prior no proof of insurance. You've already served 3 days in jail on this case for failure to comply with the competency evaluation. So I'm not going to impose any additional jail. And because this is your first conviction for no proof of insurance, you have a mandatory minimum of a $500 fine. And so I will impose that mandatory minimum $500 fine in count 1. The no valid operator's license, I will impose a $100 fine, and then count 3, the expired plates, that's a $50 fine. So I am imposing quite a bit of fine on you, but I'm not going to impose any jail at this time. So you can set up a payment plan. Any appeal needs to be filed within 35 days of today's date of the court's decisions in this trial. But I hope that you are able to get your license, abide by the law. I'll tell you that the driving without a valid driver's license does take with it a maximum sentence of 90 days in jail. So if this pattern continues, or if you don't have insurance, there used to be a time in this building where someone on a 4th of no proof of insurance, they would get sentenced to a year in jail. So the legislature has given the courts power to do that, but I hope that you just are licensed and that you have your insurance so that your choices aren't affecting other people. So we can give you that information in just a moment. All right, good luck. Thank you.
That's how the trial goes. Not surprising, but very interesting. So that is that. We have some more videos to go through, though. That's not it. We have plenty of other stuff to take a look at. Oh my god. Oh my god. Marcel's new AI video. Oh god. Okay. So Marcel has created what he's calling sovereign private law dating contracts. Dating contracts. Sovereign citizen dating contracts. So I'm sorry this is AI, but Marcel made it, and it's insane. So let's take a look.
Sovereign private law dating contract. Sovereign private law dating contract. If you've ever watched a relationship end and thought, how did this turn into a legal war? You're not alone. Most people
What are you talking about?
think the legal system is there to help. But when relationships end, the system often turns private pain into public destruction. It doesn't just process breakups. It can reward conflict, amplify accusations, and drain families until there's nothing left but bitterness and bills.
This feels like divorced dad energy. This very much feels like I hate women and don't trust them, therefore I need a super special sovereign citizen prenup.
I'm going to explain why I believe a sovereign private law dating contract is a powerful idea.
Not even marriage, though, just dating. Wow.
I'm going to reference 2 documents that show the structure I'm talking about: an independent contractor agreement and a gift pay schedule. Here's the reality.
I'm sorry, a gift pay schedule?
When relationships end
What?
inside the normal system, people lose things that should never be on the table. People lose their children through custody battles. People lose their homes through forced sales, legal orders, or financial collapse. People lose generational wealth because lawyers and courts become the middleman in what should have been a private matter. Families get split into sides, friends pick teams, people get labeled.
You're stuck on the digital blackface. Yeah, he actually rendered this video twice with different people. It's the same script, but he has a different one too. I looked at them both and I decided this one looked a little better, which is why I picked it. But yeah, he has made this multiple times with different looking guys, I think, to try and demographically hit as many bases as possible.
Shamed and punished. And the worst part is this. Most of the destruction happens because people stop honoring their word. They rewrite history. They change the agreement. They pretend the original understanding never existed. They use emotions like weapons. And once that happens, the legal system becomes a tool for whoever is willing to play dirtier. I'm going to speak personally here. In my own life, relationships were often...
In your own definite real life, this is a real person for sure, and not Marcel puppeting a fake human being.
Not loyal. Over time, many partners tried to change the agreement in ways I did not accept.
Okay, then you break up. Sometimes things change, and relationships are something that you negotiate. Sometimes people have needs that change, and you adjust with them, or you can't, and you break up. That's fine. It's not a big deal. You don't need a contract to navigate human relationships.
I was usually the smarter partner in the pair, more strategic, more disciplined, more focused on long-term outcomes.
There's Marcel's narcissism, thinking he's smarter than everyone else.
And I paid for it. I lost my own biological family. I lost my son because my ex chose a lifestyle that didn't match the values we started with. She left over wanting to be a bar star, and I watched my family break apart. Other exes refused to help with my freedom work, even though that was a clear requirement when we met.
You won't help me with my online scams. How dare you?
Wanted the benefits of being with me, but not the responsibility of standing beside me. So as I learned private law,
What's a bar star? He's saying she gets drunk and goes to the bar. He's basically calling her a bar slut. He's slut-shaming her and saying she's a drunk.
Stopped dating normally, because normal dating is not designed to protect loyalty, legacy, or truth. Normal dating usually looks like this. You meet someone random, or someone you've known for a while. Both people put on their best face. Some of it is real, some of it is performance. Then standards get bent. One person dominates, or one person sacrifices. Resentment builds. Trust erodes. Communication turns into...
You thought it was Canadian for barfly? I think it is, but I've heard Marcel talk about her before, and he definitely does it with the tone of derision and says that she's a slut. So maybe I added a little bit based on my knowledge of how Marcel talks about her.
Control. And when it ends, the system steps in and turns it into a weapon. That's why I say genius dating is much better. Genius dating is intentional. Genius dating is honest. Genius dating is built on clear terms, clear consent, and clear expectations up front. Now let's talk about the danger of dating when you're building power. As you
Oh no, Marcel thinks he's building power.
gain power, wealth, and become a competent sovereign, the risks increase. People will try to destroy you. Haters, jealous people, opportunists, people seeking financial gain at your expense, people who will make false allegations, people who will smile in your face and plan behind your back. And yes, there are organized networks and private groups in this world that thrive on control and chaos. Whether you call them corrupt institutions, satanic societies, or just predators in suits,
yes, clearly Marcel's relationships hasn't worked out because Satanists have been attacking his relationships.
result is the same. If you are rising, you become a target. So you cannot treat relationships like casual entertainment. You must treat them like what they are, a serious alliance that can either build your life or destroy it. This is where the concept of a sovereign private
You looked it up and I'm right? Cool.
law dating
I love when I'm right.
contract comes in. The two documents I'm referencing are called 2025 Muse Model Independent Contractor Agreement and 2025 Muse Model Gift Pay Schedule. At the core, These documents do something most people never do in relationships. They put the structure into writing. They define roles and responsibilities. They define boundaries. They define expectations. They define compensation as gifts and pay.
Is Marcel bad at social interaction to the extent that he needs it to be spelled out for him this clearly? That's interesting. I find that really interesting because, like, I'm not good at social relationships either. I don't pick up cues. I'm not good at social situations. I don't know what the rules are. It's terrible. So I get that. But to expect people to turn everything into a contract because you have difficulty socially is absurd and not reasonable.
They define accountability. They define confidentiality. They define what happens if someone fails to show up, fails to perform, or violates the agreement. Whether someone agrees with every line or not, the concept is powerful. Everything is defined up front, so it can't be twisted later. That is how you take the weaponization out of legal dating, because ambiguity is what courts feed on. Ambiguity is what manipulators exploit. Ambiguity is what destroys families. A sovereign private law dating contract is not about being cold. It's not about being controlling. It's
I'm gonna doubt that one
not
a little
about
bit.
trying to
There's no way this isn't about control.
own another person. It's about removing confusion. It's about protecting honor.
Most people don't have so much confusion. They need a contract, Marcel. Stone Corbell with 50 bits says, can you imagine going to a first date and someone's like, I need you to sign this contract before we start the relationship? At least they're getting the crazy out front early so you know not to have a second date. I guess that's the benefit of that. You just crawl out the window in the bathroom at the restaurant and never see them again.
It's about making sure both people understand exactly what the relationship is, what it is not, and what the expectations are, before emotions get messy. It's about protecting honesty, loyalty, money, biological children, peace, and the original agreement. And it's about stopping the slow poison that happens when someone tries to change the deal over time. Now let me add a concept that flips the whole game. What if you got paid millions to be a good partner to your spouse?
Oh God, what?
That's another advantage of a private law dating contract. It allows your spouse or partner to get paid for being what you need them to be, and for doing the job of the relationship the way you both agreed.
Is this not just escorting? Like, you're paying for a relationship. That's just sex work, basically. This is just long-term sex work. Which, there's nothing wrong with sex work, but I don't think anyone would want to get in this contract with Marcel.
It reminds both sides that they have duties in this relationship. They have standards to uphold. They have a role to play. And the better job they do loving you, supporting you, and honoring the agreement, the more they can earn as your partner. It takes the evil out of the agreement. Even if someone came in with impure intentions, the structure rewards them for doing good instead of doing bad. It rewards loyalty instead of sabotage. It rewards support instead of betrayal. It turns the relationship into a system where the incentives are aligned with honor. So let me answer the question directly. Do I think a sovereign private law dating contract is a good idea? Yes, if it's done with full disclosure, voluntary consent, clear boundaries, mutual benefit, and real honor. Because we live in a world where people break their word. And when people break their word, the system steps in and makes it worse. So the solution is simple. Put it in writing up front. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think of this idea?
That's terrifying. I wish Marcel had, also look at this image of Marcel. Listen to this real quick.
Hi, everybody. It is Marcel of the Family Beset, founding member, signatory, Chief Justice, Emperor, and Minister of Peacemaker Society Sovereign Empire, Peacemaker Society, and now Peacemaker Society Sovereign Empire Religion.
He's the head of a religion now. He's the head of his own private organization religion.
So we're going to be talking today about how my private law society under God is a demonic filter, and most of you are not worthy to be around me. Pretty much none of you. It's going to take training and time if you're worthy. This society is a way for you to prove
It's playing hard to get.
and grow to be worthy of being under Christ consciousness.
It's trying to make you sell yourself to him.
Now, I'm not talking about the way that the Bible teaches you, because I found a very interesting video of a gentleman who studied a bunch of forbidden texts and talks about how earth is hell. It doesn't have to be hell, but it's run by Satan, was created by Satan, is the dominion of Satan. And that's where allegedly Christ coming to earth was to teach everyone how to become Christ-like, to develop that Christ consciousness, and really just connecting with your soul, which is your divine guide to source, the original.
Yeah, so he's on some crazy shit now. We're not going to watch that whole video because it's mostly him watching someone else's video. But he's not doing great. All right, let's check out a traffic stop.
2025, an officer observed a vehicle operating with a defective brake light and initiated a traffic stop.
Hello. Hey, you ain't got one working brake light on the trailer back there.
You get out?
No, stay in the car for me. You have your driver's license on you, sir?
No, sir. Why you pulled me because of that?
Yes. What's that? What?
Let me show you something.
Oh, okay.
Put my window down.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
And before you call any of your friends,
I'm not.
let me show you this.
Okay.
Because I live by right and law. Breathe. Because you're wrong.
I live by writing law?
Let me explain something.
I don't have
This is just a traffic stop. Why are you turning into something?
Because I don't have to deal with this. I have somewhere I'm going, and I know the law. So we're going to go through the law. I don't have to go with what you say is the law because I live by the Constitution. So you saying, oh God.
Sir, can I just have your driver's license,
No,
please?
I don't live by that. Listen.
He would have just given you a warning. Although he probably doesn't have a driver's license to give him, so he would have gotten in trouble anyway, I guess.
Do you have your driver's license on you? Because the registered owner of that trailer's driver's license is also showing suspended.
Listen. I'm gonna pull this out. Right? And I'm going to give you the judgment that's going to that.
Okay.
Because we're going to be here for a while because y'all did this. And I'm going to explain you the whole situation.
So, license, please.
Listen.
License.
Why are you demanding something from me?
I'm asking for your license.
And I'm asking you what right you have. This is what we're going to go through. See, y'all don't like this.
Now I'm going to call my friends.
I don't call your friends because I'm
Can
finna show you.
start some routine.
Okay. I'm going
Sir,
to show
can I just have your license? I can get you on your way.
I'm going to give you this. This. Read that.
No, I'm okay.
It's your life.
Sir, do you have your driver's license?
I'm trying to show you something for your own good.
No, I need your driver's license.
Look. This is for you. This is the law that I use. But you don't get to just choose your law.
Sir, do you have your driver's
Oh,
license?
but you get to choose yours. That makes a lot of sense.
I don't have a driver. That's
Do you have a
Florida's.
picture ID?
They don't have anything for you.
Okay. Do you have insurance on the vehicle?
I don't have to give you anything.
Do you
I'm
have
under
registration
no
for the vehicle?
You're scaring me.
How am I scaring you?
Because you pulled me over out of nowhere asking me for something.
Right.
And under the Constitution.
It's called a traffic stop.
Constitution right now.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I'm invoking the United States Constitution due process clause. I do not have any duty.
Do you have identification?
I'm telling you, I'm going to enforce it.
Okay.
I know all the federal codes.
Can I have your first name?
No.
Okay. What do you think the solution is here today?
The solution is for you to go by law. You want me to adhere to your Florida law, and I adhere to the Constitution. Now we're at odds. But
They're not at odds. The Constitution does not conflict with Florida's ability to require you to have a driver's license to operate on their public roadways for the millionth time.
now there's a supremacy clause.
Stay here for me. Don't leave. You're not allowed to leave yet, okay?
What?
I'm going to go run some stuff in the vehicle. Do not leave. If you leave,
Don't run nothing
don't
on my.
leave.
Don't touch my. Please.
Don't.
Just start-
That's not suspicious. Don't run my vehicle. Oh, okay. Sorry. I guess I won't. You think that was gonna work?
I'm expedited. Let me go look at your vehicle real fast. I'll be right back, okay? Do not leave.
Call 911 because you're
If you call 911, you're
Oh, he's gonna call. That's a misuse of the 911 line.
going to go to jail.
Okay, so come back.
Okay. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. This is stop sticks in case you decide to leave.
I'm not going nowhere.
Okay, sir. Do you have your ID on you?
Listen. Now you're assaulting.
How am I assaulting you?
Because you just put something
What's the
there that-
definition of assault to you?
This is my property. I labor
Can
for
I explain
it.
this to you? An officer's coming on scene now. You're going to go to jail today.
Okay, for what?
Okay? I won't provide your identification.
I don't
You're
have
impeding
to-
my investigation.
What's the law? What's the law?
I don't know. Apparently you know it better than me.
Okay,
So
I
when
do,
you get with
so-
your defense attorney, provide all
I
your
don't have to
paperwork
go
in front
through
of the
that. The
judge.
law said if it's the law, it doesn't begin then. It's now. You just said you don't know the law, but I do.
He was being facetious, you moron. He couldn't pick up on the fact that he was being sarcastic.
Sir, you need to step out.
Can you please?
Oh.
This is Officer Leonard. Don't touch.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Get off my car. Get off my car.
Start some
Get
others
off my car.
expedited. Refusing to get out.
I was super calm and nice with him. He didn't want.
Hey, man.
I don't know if this ends in a smash or not.
That's not going to stop. It's not. Sure, hand it to
It's always fun when I haven't seen the video. Because I haven't seen this. I just saw it was a new one today and I picked it out. Thrilling.
I'm more than happy to, in fact, if you don't want to talk to me, man. You're going to go to jail the hard way. Your car's going to get rain in it, man.
I don't care about
So you don't care if it gets rain all in it from when it gets broken? It is going to get broken. Here, you want to hand it to me? Do you want to hand it to me?
Jim
I can't hear you
Epcot
through the
rides again. Thanks for following.
window. I can't hear you.
window down.
Okay.
Scared.
Perfect.
But I want y'all.
I'm not scared of you either, but I don't want to break your window if we don't have to.
Why are you going to violence?
Unless you're going to step out of the car, that's what's going to happen.
Listen. Everybody
I'm
here.
listening.
Listen, everybody
Yeah.
here is a man.
Okay.
Listen, I know the law, and I know I'm in
2 tickets to Iron Maiden, baby. Thanks for following. I like that song.
enforcing my rights, and I'm trying to tell you.
Okay,
I've
right
got
now
2 tickets to Iron Maiden.
you're misunderstanding the law, man.
Weedus.
You all commit a crime. Okay, I know the code, so I'm trying
Can
to.
I explain something to you?
Listen.
Then why should I listen to you if you're not willing to listen to me?
Violence. I want to talk.
I don't want to do violence. I would like you to step out.
Why are y'all putting all this stuff? I
Okay.
never said I was going to run.
I would-
Why do you assume I'm going to run?
Perfect. I don't want you to run. You don't want to run.
Okay, so
We're on
listen,
agreement with
let's
that.
make a deal. I
Good.
don't
Step
have to
out
run.
for me.
Listen, I don't have to run. I'm going to put my window more down.
Okay.
Back
Great.
up. I talked to you because
Okay.
you're reasonable.
Perfect.
Y'all back up. Can we all comply?
Can you guys
I
take like a
comply.
half step
Y'all
for me?
comply.
Okay. Look,
Back up.
they backed up.
Your orders don't mean the same things as the cops' orders because they have the ability to arrest you. You don't have the ability to arrest the cops. The power, he's acting as though they have equal power in this situation, which is absolutely not the case.
Go through the law. Y'all
Perfect.
Say, y'all
Help me.
say y'all live by law. I have the rights to do what I'm doing.
Sure. Can you show me where it says that?
This is you're supposed to know the Constitution.
Well, you have it in your hand.
Yes, I do, but I don't.
Perfect.
Listen, the
Yeah,
law
I'd love to.
is you don't get excused for ignorance.
Okay.
Let me let this
Well, can
down.
you educate
Don't
me?
grab me.
This isn't me
Because I'm
grabbing you.
not-
I'm literally pointing at
Okay,
myself.
so good.
Because I would love for you to
this is what
educate
I
me
like.
if you say I'm wrong.
Huh? I don't listen. You're supposed to know this.
Okay, so help
You're
me.
supposed. Let me get out the fucking car. Y'all doing
Yeah,
all
come
this
on
shit
out,
for
man.
nothing.
Come on out.
No, y'all remove. Listen. When
Okay,
y'all.
then
when
what's
y'all,
going on?
Here, take that.
Yeah, show me.
You're trying to be slick.
No, I want you to explain to me.
Listen,
If you
listen,
say you
listen,
know it,
listen, let me
help me
a
understand.
little bit. I like what y'all doing, so now we getting somewhere. I don't
Perfect.
want to go through all this
Okay.
because y'all are wrong regardless.
Okay.
Because y'all don't know the law, and then when
All right.
y'all meet people who do, y'all don't want to respect.
So
what you
where in the
don't
piece of
understand.
paper that you handed me says
listen,
this?
Listen, this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you a quick way you should know this.
Okay.
He took it
Been to
back.
traffic court?
Okay.
You've been to traffic court.
I have been to traffic court.
Where's the jury at?
Well, it depends. Are you
Ain't
going?
no jury.
No. Can you answer my question, right?
Okay.
Are you going in front of a judge for a civil
No, they gotta
infraction?
call it a judge.
You want me to ask a question, right?
Okay.
I would
I'm
love to
gonna
ask it.
Okay.
Is it a civil infraction or a crime?
Civil. The same thing that you're attempting to
Okay,
do.
so then you don't usually have a jury for an administrative action.
now.
But right now, by not stepping out, this is where the crime is, man.
Look.
Okay.
Sir, jury.
Magna Carta.
Yeah,
that
I'm
says
entitled
before
to a
the
jury.
Oh my god, is he quoting the Magna Carta?
That's due process.
That's a rare one. I've seen that a few times, but not as common these days.
that year. What's that year right there where it says, I'm trying to point, I'm asking a question.
Why y'all always gotta be so violent? Look,
How is this, hey, can you help me understand how this is violent?
Because you're, look.
Because you're doing things I don't like. That's violence.
Standing?
Look at my tire. Look at I haven't even
The round things on your
I don't
car?
have anything to run for. I'm not gonna
Perfect.
run from you.
Good, yeah, it'd be hard to. There's a car in front of you.
I don't move the car. I'm not gonna run.
I don't have those keys, man. So listen.
Okay, so look.
You wanted to educate me about that. I've got a question about it.
Okay.
So you're educating me. You know, students ask teachers questions, right? So if you're educating, let me ask a question.
Student, but I'm not a student. I'm not a teacher.
In this scenario, I would be.
Why?
Because you're educating
threatening
me.
Violence. How can you be a student
Sure,
and you
can you tell me when I threatened you violence?
Look at my tire.
Okay.
Look at my tire. Look at my tire.
So do you want to point it out or no?
They're plotting, and now you're getting this. Listen, I'm gonna tell you how it's going.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
tell me all about it, man.
Middle District of Florida.
Okay.
The federal.
Okay.
That's who's gonna come get y'all.
Okay.
Because I'm pleading with you. I even called 911, and I'm
Okay.
telling you that I have a right to enforce code just like you.
All right.
No, you don't.
The United States Constitution, I can use that just like you're using code.
Okay.
If I choose to invoke it, you can't overthrow it by Florida law. There's a supremacy clause in the Constitution, right?
See, I love when the cops give them time because they get to talk. This is what I love about it. I love the rambling. I love to hear the pseudo-legal arguments. I don't want a window smash immediately in an arrest. I want them to talk. I'm glad that he's doing this.
And so if you want something from me, I'm invoking my right to service a process. For this thing you call civil, go get a service of process, have the lawyer bring it to my house, the sheriff, have him bring it to my house. That's the law.
Okay.
I'm invoking
Well, right now,
that.
what
If
you're
you
doing
have-
is criminal.
It's not criminal.
How is it criminal?
I don't live by permission. You can't give me permission. I bought this.
Refusing to identify and refusing to get out of the car when you're ordered on a lawful traffic stop are criminal.
Gonna step out or no? Okay. Are you gonna? I'm asking you a question. It's yes or no.
It's not criminal.
Hey,
He turned a warning into possible felonies.
are you gonna step out? Yes or no? That's the question. It's a simple one.
Yeah.
Yes. I invite you to. Michael, are you gonna step out?
Terradona with 100 bits says, breaking out some classics from the tome of pseudo-legal spells.
Michael, are you gonna step out? Yes or no? All right. Joey, you're up. If you want to explain to him.
Hello, Michael. Hey, you've been legally stopped for a traffic violation. You have an equipment violation on the trailer. Your driver's license is shown suspended at the moment. We're going to give you one more opportunity. This is the last opportunity. If you do not step out to be placed on arrest, we will break this window and we will pull you out, okay? How you decide that happens, that's on you. Are you willing to step out, Michael? Are you willing to step out? Okay, he's bracing himself for the glass impact.
Push. Hold on.
This is a normally there's one big smash. This guy's just a little tiny pickaxing all around the like circumference. That's interesting. Meticulous.
I only got these ones.
Is the window tinted?
Oh, I hit that window tint.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, push it out, Michael.
Are they asking him to push his own window out?
Pull it out.
I'm breaking my window. I paid for it.
Can you pull it out? Do you want to step out, Michael? Michael, would you like to step out now? Michael, would you like to step out?
Slow motion window smash. I can't. That's too good. Oh, it took like 5 minutes.
Hey, Michael, you have to step on out now.
Tail light.
Get out.
Listen, get off that
out.
Get off.
Step out of the car.
You're a criminal.
Let's go.
Stop committing crime.
Let's go.
Stop committing crime.
All right, come on, buddy.
Stop committing crime. This is my property. Listen.
We don't want to hurt you.
Listen. This is my property. Hold your hands.
Let go.
My property.
I don't want
This is my property.
Yeah, the cops are being very calm, all things considered, which I appreciate.
Y'all, so
Everything doesn't need to escalate into like throwing people on the ground and pepper spraying them. They got him out of the car with the minimal force necessary.
y'all listen, nothing. I'm not a slave. I'm not a slave. Stop assaulting me. Stop assaulting me. Stop.
There you go. Wind up.
Stop assaulting me.
A little lower. A little lower.
It doesn't matter.
Got it.
It doesn't matter. I'm under no obligation. No duty.
Take them to the car.
None. Y'all people are criminals. You don't care about no law. Take this shit. Listen, that shit is too tight.
Come on. I throw it in mine.
Okay.
Don't touch my gun. Don't touch nothing. That's mine.
Oh, he's got a gun on him. You're supposed to tell cops when you have a gun on you if you're in a traffic stop.
Get to jail for nothing.
He's saying there's a 0 in the car.
Yeah, it is. It's mine.
All right, you have anything on you?
What?
Where in the car is it?
Don't worry about it. It ain't yours.
He
It's
doesn't
mine.
want to
I got a right to it. Bill of attainder clause. It's mine.
This is very unnecessary.
It is. It's necessary. It's a law. You just want me to comply. You're forcing me to comply with slavery, involuntary servitude.
You talk about the law, but you don't know case law, sir.
No, I don't need case law. It's the
there is.
Constitution. You're supposed to know it,
sir.
You're supposed to know it. I don't have to school you on it.
Sit in the car.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Federal case law says you have to get out of the car when we tell you to.
Okay, and what case law? What case is
We
that?
were trying to give it to you
What
guys.
case is it?
Ma'am, I need those vehicle keys. I don't know who you are.
I'm.
Okay, step on out.
Oh my God,
There you go.
dude.
Place your hands behind your back.
Oh, she's getting arrested too. Shit.
Thank you.
Oh, she was in the passenger seat the whole time.
Trailer?
Oh, no. This is because of how resistant he was.
And why am I in cuffs?
Because you were also resistant.
How was I
You
resisting?
pulled away from me with the keys.
You weren't opening the car.
Yep, and you wouldn't open
Why
up the
would
car.
I
step on
open
it.
the car?
You're legally obligated to when requested by law enforcement, okay? She's going to go to jail also for resisting without violence. Go put her in her car. Let's get her searched. West Melbourne 3 is here to do her search. Thank you.
You want me to call it then?
Yeah, can you do the tow? Thanks, man. Then we'll search it real fast. Did I hear he had a 0 on him?
Hey, clear the channel. No, I didn't have a. I didn't. Hey,
I thought someone said he had a 0 on him.
I didn't hear it.
Oh. Okay.
I checked. I looked in the back. There's no one's back here. So.
1098, 1033 on city, 1098, 1033.
Oh, there is a gun right here.
I've got one.
Yeah.
Center console.
Yep. Hey, in your request to do the 70, can you run this on telly? All right, it's on the front seat. It's unloaded.
He was charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of
Oh, that's so stupid.
firearm ammunition, or an electric weapon by a convicted felon, driving while license suspended or revoked with knowledge, resisting an officer without violence, no motor vehicle registration, and misuse of the 911 system. Share your thoughts in the comments below.
Wow. All for what could have, if he just had his license and wasn't being like that, could have been a warning. Jesus Christ. Okay. Let's try this one.
There we go. Can I have your name, please?
For the record, my name is Thomas Stiver II. I'm the natural person of the living man. How we doing today, Miss Braley?
We are upright, if nothing else. So, okay. And you said your name is Thomas Styron.
The second,
The second.
and then I'm the natural person, the living man.
Okay, thank you for your patience there. We had a little bit of a kerfuffle.
No
So,
problem.
recalling case number 19S00472. That is the state of Michigan versus Thomas Ulrich Styron, the second, you said. And also calling 24W001025. That is the township of Ypsilanti, also versus
Here in Michigan.
Thomas Ulrich Styron. So state your name for the record.
So, for the record, my name is Thomas Styron II. It is not the name you have attached to this case is not me. I believe that's a state created entity, Your Honor. And I'm me being a living person. My name is improper punctuation. I don't have a all caps name nor
Okay, I'm going to
Yeah.
cut you off right there.
I
So,
don't have no, sorry. I don't have no contracts with the state of Michigan at all, period. And so I was wondering about personal jurisdiction and subject matter jurisdiction in regards to this.
okay. And you can continue to wonder about those at the moment. What I am doing, you have a show cause hearing on the matter ending in 472, which is the retail fraud charge. I'm showing a balance of $210 on that. And then what you're being arraigned on, that is what I am here to explain the charge against you, is a citation issued on April 2nd, 2024 at 9:24 in the evening. That charges that you operated a motor vehicle on North Ford Boulevard at or near Russell Street with no license on your person. Do you comprehend the charge against you?
Oh, she knows not to say understand. She's very familiar with sovereign citizen rhetoric.
I do not. I don't even own a license. I canceled my license years ago.
Okay, well, that's admitting to...
Okay. So, what you are being charged with is operating a motor vehicle without having a license.
Yeah, maybe don't admit to the crime in front of the judge.
On your
Just
person.
You admitted to your guilt. This is going to be the quickest trial in history.
I'm not asking you if you agree with this. I'm not asking if you have a license. I'm asking if you understand the words coming out of my mouth as far as what this charge is.
The charge is accused me of not having a driver's license on my person, correct?
Correct.
Well, from my understanding, I need a driver's license if I'm in commerce. I was traveling home.
Okay.
I wasn't doing business at all. And also from my understanding, I don't need a license to do that.
And your overstanding is incorrect, sir. But we are not going to get into that for now. You are saying that you have understood the words as far as not having a license on your person. It is a misdemeanor charge with a maximum penalty of up to 93 days in jail, a $500 fine with court costs, or both.
So this is under the assumption that you guys have personal jurisdiction and subject matter jurisdiction over me, right?
Yes.
Yes.
She's great. I love her. I wish we saw her more often.
So
at this time, the court is going to set a pre-trial date for you. That will be before Judge Washington.
ma'am, can we prove the jurisdiction first before we go ahead with setting a trial for that entity or a pre-trial for that entity?
I hear you. And at this point, you are appearing in front of the court. You have put your name on the record. And yes, we are setting a pre-trial date for you.
I did put my name on the record, and my name that I put on the record is not the same name that you have attached to that case.
And you can...
They think that the all caps name that is shown in legal documents is a different name because it's in all capital letters. It's not.
Provide documents.
It's just part of the style guide to capitalize, I think, names, and it might be all proper nouns. I'm not positive, though.
Documentation of such at your pre-trial date, which is going to be June 26th.
So the documentation that I have published, recorded in with, excuse me, sorry. The documentation I have published and recorded on the record, on the state of Michigan record, that says what I just told you, that I'm not who you have, that I'm not the name you have attached to that case, that's, I need to bring that with me, is what you're saying? It being already recorded and on the state of Michigan records. Is that good enough?
Whatever documentation you have, bring it with you to your pre-trial date. That is what I am telling you, yes. So, and again, that court date, June 26th. Okay, will be June 26th at 9 a.m. before Judge Washington. The court will enter a, that you are standing mute to all charges at this time.
So we're just assuming jurisdiction though, correct?
Yes.
How? From my understanding, that has to be proved before we even proceed with anything else. Am I wrong?
You are not correct. The court will also set a personal recognizance bond in this matter. Basically, you are promising to show up for that June 24th court date at 9 a.m. over Zoom before Judge Washington, where you will have your pretrial. Okay, so at this point, your hearings are concluded. You are free to stand up and tell the jail that you are finished.
He looks.
So I need to be there under threat, duress, coercion of going to jail?
Yeah, yes, correct. Yes, you are correct. Oh, boy. Oh, what's Motto doing?
Hey, friends, one last video to my 50-cent warriors. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys. I know you think it's, you know, it might be forgotten or something else, but, you know, it's that little bit of contact that tells me, you know, hey, you know, I'm one of you. You know, I might not be where you're at yet.
He got arrested, but he bailed out.
But I get your message, and I get that it's from the heart. That you're trying to bring everybody together. No division. Other than the pedos and the attorneys. They're not allowed in. But what we're about is love. We're about peace. We're about basically building communities again. But in order to do this, people have asked me, how do we win? We have to pack the court. Okay? The 7th of January, Fremont County in Idaho. If you're one of the actual believers, come to court. It's Chief Motto versus the corporation called the State of Idaho, which I still can't find a charter for, still can't find a properly oathed-in judge. Still can't find...
Jesus Christ, he's so embarrassing. Just a Peach says, the reason that caps are used is readability, the same reason that the town I grew up in is misspelled because cursive is not great for legal paperwork.
And any of the necessary accoutrements for these people to actually call themselves a functioning government. Why is that? Because these are corporations, and I believe the attorneys are the ones who are actually operating them, that's who owns them.
You're incorrect. The state owns the court. The lawyers just work there.
So to be able to expose this, but most importantly, to be able to take our government back peacefully and lawfully, how do we do it? You have to pack the court. You have to show up, men. So that if the chief walks in and I say, hey, where's all my veterans? Where's all my people? Where's those who believe that the Constitution for the Republic actually should apply in the territories of the Republic?
I'm sorry, you think that if you get a bunch of people in the gallery that are on your side, it'll help your chances in court? It's not a popularity contest. That's not how any of this works.
If you have 100 people stand at that point in time, the judge will comply.
No, they won't. What are you talking about? That's delusional.
That's how you do it peacefully and lawfully. Why? Because
I like that the implication is that they're basically threatening the judge, but he's calling it peaceful and lawful.
It's a grand jury. A group of people, correct me if I'm wrong, read the law on this, but we, the people who ordained the Constitution that created Congress and the 14th Amendment U.S. citizens, we also hold the inherent right under the preamble to change it whenever we wish, but most importantly, what fool out there would say that we don't hold the inherent right to actually have a grand jury issue an indictment and hang any foreigners who actually violate the laws of the Constitution for the Republic? Where does this...
They consider judges and lawyers to be foreigners because they incorrectly believe that getting a law license makes you have a title from Great Britain, because there's a myth in the sovereign citizen community that bar, as in passing the bar or having a bar license, they believe that stands for British Accreditation Registry. It does not. It has never stood for that. That's just a thing someone made up and they all picked up on. So they think that they can say that the judges and the lawyers aren't real citizens and can't hold office because of that title that they think they've been given from the UK.
To say that we must cede that right to anybody, even our servants. Military commanders of each state, hello? You're the highest ranking officials in each one of these states. That's why I'm sending you notice. That's why I'm giving you proper time to do your jobs. I need clarification. What is my duty as a U.S. military veteran if you don't do yours? I would like for you to tell me.
That feels threatening. I think, once again, he's just threatening. I think he's creeping up on Marcel in terms of, if I heard he did something violent, I wouldn't be surprised. Marcel's always going to be number one in, like, if he did some terrible violent crime, I wouldn't be surprised. But Mato's really getting up there. The implicit threats he's making are not good.
Why? Because I don't believe it's actually law that we should sit here as we the people, who again are peaceful, law-abiding Indians in the Mato Nation, i.e. Idahoans, Montanans, California.
Mato is not legally indigenous. He's not part of a tribe, for anyone who doesn't know that.
Californians under GAO 5.
He has created his own tribe and is trying to claim tribal rights through that tribe he made up.
3. If we are the progenitors of those who ordained the Constitution, that means that according to Neil Gorsuch, Supreme Court...
Sounds like a Bundy Ranch asshole. Basically, I think he's actually talked about them before and how he supports them. So yeah, he's kind of that side of the Sovsit coin.
Justice, we the people are sovereign. So you tell me. If we pack a court, we have 25 or 23 or whatever the magic number is. Back in, the old times, Caesar, they figured 1,000 people couldn't be corrupted. That was the size of their jury.
Terradona says, agreed, but as far as getting someone killed, Chili takes the crown. He is pretty irresponsible in his interactions with the police. Luckily, he interacts with them less since his whole arrest situation. He mostly just does reaction content now, which is probably for the best, so he's not out harassing people as much. He does still go out sometimes, but I think he's a little more careful about it.
Juries. But if we had a grand jury composed of Idahoans, and they issued an indictment. Why? Because in the presence of two witnesses, let the truth be established. Which authority, any governing authority, foreign, military, or otherwise, supersedes that of that grand jury? According to Marbury v. Madison, nothing. But again, I could be misinterpreting this. That's why I'm asking for clarification, because that's how law-abiding men conduct our affairs. So again, to all of you who may not understand the lexicon and the jargon, but you know damn well I'm telling you the truth, thank you for your support. To all the detractors and dilettantes, pound sand, nobody cares what you think. And to all out there who know the true heart of this servant, and for that reason, you keep inviting me, you keep calling me, saying cool things. Yes, I would love to come out and do videos with you guys, hanging out with you, especially my redneck folk. I grew up on the reservation. Okay? Don't let the clean-cut appearance with the hoodie and an old hat fool you. I'm really just, old school.
He did grow up on a reservation, but he's not part of the tribe. He grew up on the reservation because his father is considered indigenous and was part of the tribe. Unfortunately for Mato, he did not meet the blood quantum minimum to be in the tribe, so basically, as soon as, he became an adult, he's not part of it anymore. So that's quite sad for him. I do understand why that would probably be devastating to him, and he feels alienated from a culture he was raised in, but his reaction to it has not been good at all.
Cool of heart. So, I love hanging out with good people, love playing music, and I love getting out and actually showing people what it means to be a Mato member. You're one of the community builders. You're one of the people that make sure that all the children, the women, everything else, kids are safe. You're part of the community. You keep everybody there safe. You keep things calm. Why? Because you're educated men. That's why. You're conservative men. You believe in the Most High. You believe in the red, white, and blue and blood that's shed for all those rights that we have to defend. That's who you have to be if you're in the Mato tribe. If you're man enough to put the Mato chest tattoo on, you better be a Mato man.
Mato, Mato man. I want to be a Mato man.
But most importantly, you have to have a belief in the Most High. And you have to know that what we're here for is to ensure that we do everything we can to bring our great nation forward, but we also...
Oh yeah, he has a chest tattoo. He has a logo, like, for the tribe, and he has a big chest tattoo. Does that imply that he makes new members get a chest tattoo of the logo? Because holy shit, that's so crazy and, like, gang shit. Like, you have to mark your skin with my logo. Oh boy, that's not good. I'm curious how many people he's tattooed or had tattooed.
to help people to find that narrow path that leads to eternal life. And the blood, that was shed for us by Yahusha on the stake. So thank you for your time again, people, and all my 50-cent warriors. You guys just crack me up. I love you guys to death. You're like a raging force all by yourselves. But again, you're evidence of the heart that beats within every American for freedom. And I respect you and admire you for that. Thank you. Shalom.
I hate that he uses shalom. He's so anti-Semitic. For those that don't know, Mato is like into the JQ stuff. He thinks that Jewish people secretly control the world. He's a raging anti-Semite. But at the same time, he, as a Christian, tries to adopt a lot of Jewish stuff, and he calls himself a Messianic Jew. He's not Jewish. He's basically a Christian who tries to steal a lot of the aesthetics of Judaism, I guess. It's real gross. It's real gross. All right, let's check in on Cataspinda.
Monopoly game, which is controlled, is to put a...
Hello, good men, women, sons, and daughters. This is Cataspinda with One New Earth, and welcome.
For those who haven't seen me cover Cataspinda before, she's a sovereign citizen that's kind of a pseudo-guru at this point. She has her own show where she talks about this stuff all the time. Her claim to fame is she lost her house because she was convinced through all this sovereign citizen rhetoric that money wasn't real and that loans were fictional or fraudulent. So she stopped paying her car bill as well as her mortgage, and of course the house was taken away, the car was taken away. She basically ruined her own life for all of this sovereign citizen stuff, and now she spends her time making videos about how unfair it was and how the courts are corrupt and they wouldn't listen to her arguments. They did listen to her arguments, they were just bad arguments. Yeah, so this is what she does now.
Welcome to my show. I have Tom Day back with us today. He was on my show probably about a month and a half, 2 months ago, talking about his case. He lives in Colorado, in the Breckenridge area, and he has been battling.
I'm confused by your statement, Caedmon. Hannah isn't lone fictional on state and county level. I don't know what that means.
Against the court.
A loan is a loan. It's legally binding. It doesn't matter what your location.
System. Who is it? Judge Karen Romeo. And originally it was Freedom Mortgage, but now it's Alpine.
Oh, great. I think she's using AI to make some of these kangaroo court images now.
Mortgage, who have been coming against you on your home. And they've not provided one piece of evidence that they represent the bank, Alpine Mortgage. They didn't provide any consideration proof. And banking laws and security exchange laws require that consideration is provided. Did they provide any proof of consideration, Tom, on your loan?
No, they have not. So we've asked them several times. So
Did they provide the signed loan contract? Because that'll do it.
It's Alpine Bank, but yeah, they're it's part of the banking cabal, and they're just doing. I guess they're just used to doing whatever they want to do and having the judges in their back pocket because, like George Carlin said, it's a big club and we ain't in it. So it's pretty obvious here because the judge has everything that has happened. She's sided with the bank on, and
can't just be that you're in the wrong. Obviously, it needs to be a conspiracy.
It's so ridiculous. It's not even funny. And I can't. I hope that they allow me my day in court where I can sit in front of a jury of 12 of my peers and plead my case. But they don't want you to do that because then it proves their fraud, and they're trying to stay away from that. So they're trying to do everything they can to shut me up before I get there.
Oh, right. They called a quick hearing. They're like, in 2 days, there's a hearing this Friday. And I'm sure they did.
Why must they always blame the Jews? Because they're lazy and it's just the bedrock of all conspiracy theory. I've talked about this before. Like, anti-Semitism goes back super far in the Western world. It may be elsewhere too, but I only know about the Western world. And it's so deep as a conspiracy that if you get deep enough into almost any conspiracy theory, it's like the molten core of the conspiracy versus JQ stuff. It's so frustrating. I hate it.
Did that to try and scare you. Were you scared when they called that?
You know, it concerned me a little bit at first, but I'm just getting to where it's just like, you guys are just pathetic. You know, it's just that's what they try and do. This where what we live in now has instilled this fear of the legal system in us. It's partially because they have made it so difficult for you to represent yourself, to be pro se, that you don't know what to do. And it's shocking that our country started out wanting to have people represent themselves. And now this bullshit legal profession that we have going on has created this monster that everybody's scared of. And it's so evil.
You know, they tell everybody, go get a lawyer. You're going to have to get legal advice. Go get a lawyer.
You should absolutely always get a
They
lawyer.
set up this whole system of consultants, psychiatrists, psychologists, you know.
This would be like saying it's a conspiracy that they tell you to go see a doctor when you have cancer. Like, there are people who train for a large part of their lives to help people with specific problems. Why would you not want to go to those people? Lawyers understand the legal system better than you. Definitionally, they went to school for it for years.
People in the court system.
And then they have years of experience working within their law firm. It's just crazy.
And they're all profiting off of the damage they are doing to the people. Oh, Tom, are you okay? See, looks like you might need, some therapy. They get to that point sometimes where they just start to treat you like you're crazy. But I've
Can't imagine why Kat Espinda would get treated like she's crazy.
learned that this world is inverted. Everything's inverted. They are the ones that are crazy, insane, absolutely batshit crazy. And so I appreciate that you're standing up in the truth and you're battling this out in the court, because we know that all mortgages are fraud, and it's more than fraud. They're hurting people. They're kicking people out of their homes. They're creating a homeless issue when there's so much land out there.
Look, I agree that housing should be a right, but it's not right now. So you're not going to get away with just selling the court. I just think I should have this, because that's not how the system is set up. You can't just will change into being. You need to do actual work. And a lot of people need to do it with you, because it's not an individual crusade to help people get homes.
Who are the
That's a systemic issue.
attorneys that are representing, remind us of the attorneys representing Alpine Mortgage?
Jason Buckley and Trent Lauritsen from Garfield and Hecht in Aspen. So they've probably got a bunch of money behind them, but they're just trying to intimidate you, And then we've got Karen Romeo, who is the judge, who's as far as we can tell in their back pocket. So she's doing everything they're telling him to do. She's
accusing the judge of being paid off,
actually even coaching him
with no evidence
from the bench. We have it in writing that she has told them what to do next.
You can't make this up. You can't make this up. They literally just help each other, scratch each other's back. Oh, you're a bar card, so we will just approve all of your... See, people don't realize how dark...
See, they're getting the things confused. They assume that the people who are getting on the prosecution side, or the plaintiff, getting all of their like filings approved is because they're lawyers and because of their identity. It's not. It's because they went to law school and know when to file things and how to file them properly. That's why they're getting approved more than you are, because you are filing nonsense, frivolous motions, which you don't know not to do because you didn't go to law school. They're not in cahoots. They're both just educated about the law, and you're not.
Work. It is, and they are taught actually to have decorum. So they have this appearance of politeness. They talk nice. They sound nice. They write nice email.
What animal do I think Kat would Photoshop me into? Nothing good. I imagine she's very transphobic, and I already have a particular look, let's say, so I imagine it would be very mean. An ogre? An ogre isn't an animal, but I'm going with ogre. That's usually the insult people go for in the YouTube comments, is that I look like an ogre, so let's go with that. Just a Peach with a tip says, I wonder if her kids are telling her to get help. Also, would you ask a pharmacist what is best local music group for a wedding based on instruments on the wall?
Even though they're just, giving it to you, they're doing it in a way that sounds nice. It's so fake. It's all fake. It's fraud.
Happened at this hearing that we had that she did end up continuing it. That's the first thing I've gotten from her, was a little continuance for a couple of weeks. But my ex-wife came there to listen, and she said she's so nice. And I'm like, yeah, she's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Right. They all act that way too. So nice. As they're adjudicating against you and they're telling you you're going to lose your home or something like that. Very nice.
Just it's so sad.
Green Guy says Shrek is sexy. That's not the right thing to say in this situation. I can't imagine why you think that would be the right thing to say.
Sad that we have to
I get how I look. I have a mirror. I know. Let's not dwell on it.
deal with literal evil like this, because these guys have created this system where they feel that they're the only ones. They really frown upon you representing yourself. You're prosaic. Yeah. What are you doing in our court? You can't be here, You
need a lawyer.
It's a good idea to have a lawyer. Like, you're allowed to be pro se. They're clearly letting you be pro se. You're just not good at it. It's so weird. It's like he thinks he has a right to be successful, and he doesn't. You have to be successful to do that.
You better go get a lawyer. And then those guys have all agreed behind the scenes to rule so they all win and we end up losing. I mean, it's so pathetic because they're all on this deal together, and it's doesn't matter what there are some.
Seems like a lot of these conspiracy guys are divorced. Oh, I've noticed. It's a pattern.
Attorneys that are nicer than others.
A lot of them are very antisocial people, which I imagine does not reflect very well in their marriages and relationships, and that also leads them to become isolated and down these rabbit holes of secrets that can explain away why their life is so bad, because it can't be their fault.
But there are, I mean, for the most part, they're all in it for the legal system to win, because that's what keeps them alive. If the legal system goes away, they don't have anything. So
you have just recently filed a notice of appeal because the Judge Karen went against you on the case, and she favored in their direction. You did file a notice of appeal with the Breckenridge County Court, and you requested to have the files transmitted, but they refused to do that. They ignored it, and then they said you never filed it.
Yeah. So
I would imagine he filed it improperly. This is one of the reasons it's important to have a lawyer, because they know how to navigate the courts and how to always make sure their paperwork gets in, because it's very important.
Pulled out the copy of the documents that I have that are stamped and signed. So yeah, we went ahead and refiled our appeal, and so we'll see what happens now. It seems to kind of slow them down a little bit, but I don't know. This knucklehead Jason Buckley, Trent, whatever, I don't know which one's the one that's replying, but they just come back with more stuff, and yeah, they're just trying to scare you, because I think they realize that they've screwed up. And there's a lot of things that they've done that weren't proper. So it's
And yet they won the case, which is why you're appealing it. It's weird that you're criticizing them when they beat you.
we've got a long list, and they just keep, instead of focusing on the Constitution like they're supposed to, they're focusing on technicalities. Oh, you didn't file this, and you didn't cross your I, and
You didn't ask me
Yes, courtroom procedure is important. Again, this is why you need a lawyer.
first.
it's so pathetic. That's all they've got to stand on. You didn't follow the right process, and then he had the gall to tell me that that I am held in stricter guidelines for the doing the legal process.
You're not held in stricter guidelines. You're held to the same guidelines, and you have no training.
And a licensed attorney is, and I'm going, nah, I think it's the other way around. I'm
It
actually
is.
allowed more leniency because I'm representing myself pro se.
You don't get leniency because you're pro se. At least you're not supposed to.
And he told me exactly that. I don't know if he was just stupid or he was lying, which one, but whatever.
It's probably a little of both, because liars are squires, right? And squires are lawyers.
What the fuck does that mean?
Way for them to intimidate you, but it's getting involved in this whole thing.
Ad break.
Has really opened my eyes to the criminality of the legal profession. And I used to regard attorneys as, fine, upstanding individuals, but gotta admit I'm not anymore.
Oh, she was she was referring to the title of Esquire, and she shortened it.
So
No, they don't have our best interest in mind. That is for absolute sure. So, so at this point, what is the next steps for you as far as the courts are concerned? What is the next step?
Well, as far as the appeal is concerned,
Overthought with 100 Bits says there have been countless cases that have been thrown out or ruined because trained lawyers do not follow procedure correctly. These SOBSITs are not special. They think they are, though.
we've filed that. We've got to wait for a hearing on that, or the results of that, and then
And that's through the Denver, Colorado Appellate Court, correct?
Colorado Court of Appeals down on 14th Street down in downtown Denver, 2 East 14th Street. So and it's just amazing too. You go into these legal buildings, and they're these huge granite things that are just so ornate and outrageous, and nobody's there and everything. So it's almost like it's all designed to intimidate you, to make you feel small, because the ceilings are 30 feet high. I mean, these buildings are massive. And it's all designed to just make you feel like, gosh, this is really scary.
Right.
And these people have a lot of power.
There's a lot.
They do have a lot of power.
More.
Thus why you lost your house.
To our world than people realize. And I agree with you. I think there's a lot more going underground, and we don't know about those things. But what we do know is that we live in a system that has been 100% infiltrated from the top down, from the bar all the way down through our judges. They have no accountability. You can't, you try to sue a judge and see what happens. You'll get the attorney general of the state stepping in to defend them. And we're done with this fake money world, fake government, fake everything. Everything's
Kat, what do you use to buy goods and services? Is it money? Then it's not fake. It's a social construct that doesn't make it fake.
fake. It's all by design to keep us in traps, dumbed down, so that we never know how powerful we really are.
Well, it's a lot of people don't realize this, but when you become an attorney, you pass the bar, and the bar actually stands for the British Accreditation Registry.
That is literally not true. That's, again, I've stated it earlier, that is a myth in the sovereign citizen community. BAR has never been an acronym for anything. They're talking about the bar in the court, and it's become a colloquial that you are passing the bar when you become a lawyer because you're on the other side of the bar, right? It's about the literal physical thing being turned into a signifier for becoming a lawyer.
So what these guys have done is they've actually all sworn allegiance to a foreign country, which is England.
They haven't.
And that's what's really going on right now is the British control of our world is being broke up, and that's what Trump's doing right now. So this
Oh Lord, of course he's a Trump supporter. Oh God, the most delusional people are in control of the world and I want to die.
is going to change our world like
Whew, that came out a little. I'm good. It's fine.
I can't believe, but at the same time, it's going to change the legal profession. It's not going to be anywhere near what it is now once everything comes down. So, and there's a lot of people that are probably going to go to jail. A lot of people. And there's some people that'll be lucky if they go to jail. So, especially like that Boasberg guy, that trumped up all those 34 felonies against DJT, against Donald Trump. That was the guy was coaching his jurors. He was saying.
Just a Peach with $1 tip says, the courthouse green guy and I got married in a courthouse that looks like a cheap 70s office building. The guard and checks at the door are the only signs that there are courts inside. Yeah, courts aren't all opulent. I've been in courtrooms that have been very austere, let's say.
Well, if 4 of you find him guilty on these, and 4 of you find him guilty on these, and 4 of you find him guilty on these, then we can find him altogether guilty on all these. It was such a crime. It's not even funny.
If you're just looking at the news, you're way behind the game at this point, and people are starting to find out the truth about what's happening with the banks, how we've become enslaved. This is a prison planet, and the only way out is for us to link arms, unite, and stand in the truth, no matter what. That does take emotional and physical courage to do that. So thank you, Tom, for standing up. And
I do too. As I guess explain to people, what in a quick synopsis what the process is, because when we were born, we all got our birth certificate, right? So we think that's your certificate. It's called the certificate of live birth. That must be a really good thing. No, it's actually a slavery number. Okay, so
It's not. It's just a record of your birth. This is another sovereign citizen mythology thing where they think that this birth certificate is how the state owns you and that it's a bond that gets sold onto the market. It's none of those things. It's literally just a clerical document to record your birth. That's it.
Security number is a slavery number. So
it's not.
What our government did is use you as a commodity. You're traded as a commodity around the world. So
that doesn't even make sense. Why would you be a commodity worth trading?
Took your social security number and took out bonds on you.
Yep.
So those bonds are, by the time you're my age, 66 years old, they're worth a ton of money. So, but that's where, so if your bank or your car loan or whatever, your mortgage company, they go to the Federal Reserve, which had all this money from the bonds that we've been that have been purchased in our name that we don't get to use.
Starting to think he doesn't know how the Federal Reserve works.
The banks and the mortgage companies get to use them, but we don't for some crazy reason. I can't figure that out. But it's all designed that way to make them money. So anyway, so they take your money from the Federal Reserve and give it to the bank or credits or whatever the case is. So the people think that banks have this big pile of money that they lend out. No, they don't. They go to the Federal Reserve and get that money. That's our money. So they're actually lending us our money.
Our own money.
Puts principal and interest on it over the life of the loan. And they're trading our loans and they're trading us too. So because we continue to make money over our lives for the government, for the cabal actually, and for the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and the DuPonts and the royal family and hate to tell you this, guys, but
it frustrates me how close they get to class consciousness and then just miss the entire point, and they turn it into an identity thing instead of a systemic problem of wealth accumulation.
The Vatican too. The Vatican is deeply in this stuff. You're going to be shocked when you find out what the Vatican's all about, because it's really bad. And I grew up. I was an altar boy, so I know.
Oh, let's not read into that.
No. Well, tell me, Tom, we're going to wrap this up. What message would you like to leave my audience with today?
You know, I'd say get involved. Get involved somehow. You know, I've run for town council, for mayor, for school board. Haven't won yet, and I keep getting the same kind of votes. You know,
We don't want you in there.
I'll be in there. But you know, just I say get involved more than anything. That's what you got to do. Take a stand. Be a keyboard warrior. You know, go on.
Oh my God, he's using keyboard warrior, but in a positive way.
Facebook and post stuff that you know furthers our cause, and you know try to wake more people up, because that's the thing that's going to change everything. We have to have a certain percentage of the population that are sick and tired of being sick and tired and want to change. And unfortunately, I found out recently with fluoride that they put that in our water. In fact, I was
oh my God, he's into fluoride conspiracies
talking
too.
to a guy today that says, you know, I found out that they put fluoride in cows' feed so they're docile, so they don't like.
Oh wow, some guy said he heard a thing. What a great source.
If
you know, I heard that they're putting chemicals in the water to make the fucking frogs gay.
If they weren't on fluoride, they'd be running you over and killing you. But that's what they've done. And everybody goes, gosh, fluoride's good for you because it protects your teeth. That is a complete and utter lie.
Terrible.
Here we are. I'm at, like I say, almost 10,000 feet elevation in the Rocky Mountains, and they're putting fluoride in my water. And I'm going like, why are you doing that? Well, it's because
what do you think the elevation has to do with your tooth health?
Want to calcify our pineal gland, dumb us down, so we're good little sheep, and we don't fight back. That's exactly what they've done.
It is. Okay. Well, thank you, Tom. I appreciate you giving us your last message.
What a sudden ending.
We have to start standing up in the truth no matter what. It's time to exert physical and emotional courage. That's what we need. We don't need to fear. When you start walking around and you know who you are and you know what they're doing, you know, and we are doing it for the good of mankind, you know, all things work together for good for them who love God and are called according to his purposes. And we are called right now to
Cat is really scary.
stand in the truth, and the truth shall set us free. So thank you again, everybody, for joining us today.
I 100% believe Kat's the kind of person that would work at a concentration camp as long as it was full of people she disliked. Dillis Filler says, if I recall correctly, Colorado water has so much fluoride in it naturally that they have to remove some of it. Oh, that's funny.
Hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Let's get the truth out together and become part of a movement to save the world. This is Kat Espinda, and I've got Tom Day here, and we are signing out.
Jesus. So that's our sovereign citizens for the day. We got through traffic stops, a full court case, some cat. That was a pretty good day. Let's see who we're going to rate on Twitch. Raid Granny, I guess. Oh, I don't know if I can do a raid because I don't have access to the chat right now. Let me see if I can get it back now. I can. So I can do a raid. Cool. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. I don't know if I'll see you tomorrow. I have electrolysis, but I will see you other days this week. So I'm excited to see you then. I'm not sure what we'll be doing, but I'm sure we'll have stuff. I know we're going to do a meme stock stream because we talked about doing the Houston Wade thing. So, cool beans. No problem. Thanks for watching the stream. Night, everyone.